Hello, hello, my lovies. All right. Hello, hello. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Hey, Allie. You did make it in time. I haven't even played the Diablo SmackDown song yet. You're here early. Let me bring up my backup account. Hey, hey. Happy Friday. So glad you guys are all here. Hi, Nina and Nene. Thank you so much. I appreciate your support. No, not yet, Left to Garden. Hello, hello. You guys got here early I know, to hear the Diablo SmackDown song, so let us not wait any longer. Here we go. She signs on every day waiting for MAGA to enter the door. Whether this and that and a sheepish grin. Look out, MAGA, she's about to begin. She's got moxie, it runs through her soul. She's the queen of SmackDown, yeah, it's her role. She invites the MAGA to challenge a fight. Careful where you tread, cause she's got bite. Come see Diana, a crusader of truth. Her sassy one-liners carry more than one tooth. She's bold and she's strong, she's a force to see. Diana is the badass of SmackDown Queens. MAGA tries to argue, but they have no wit. Diana hit him with facts when they start talking shit. Your logic's a mess, your facts are weak. Go step aside, boo, I've got truth to speak. She's got a heart of gold, but her force is steel. Don't ever talk over her, cause she'll make you squeal. From Twitter to TikTok, she's roaming the streets. Diana's got game, and she's hard to beat. See Diana, a crusader of truth. Her sassy one-liners carry more than one tooth. She's bold and she's strong, she's a force to see. Diana is the badass of SmackDown Queens. She's got a megaphone and a platform to preach. Running a show in the TikTok streets. Equality for all and respect for her crew. Come meet Sir Val and Gemma the Jew. With MAGAs in the corner, looking kind of small as they stumble over word and begin the free fall. Diana delivers the end game stunner. She says, oh, look, we have a Diana, a crusader of truth. Her sassy one-liners carry more than one tooth. She's bold and she's strong, she's a force to see. Diana is the badass of SmackDown Queens. So raise up our glasses and give her a follow. Come see her make all the MAGA twits wallow. With her wit and her wisdom, she's got game. Diana's a legend, and we all know her name. Stop being so emotional. That is for you, Trump supporters. So emotional about everything. All right. If you voted for Donald Trump, hit that guest request. Come on up. We are looking for Trump supporters, Trump voters. If you voted for Donald Trump, Trump voters only. Happy Friday. All right. Make sure you guys are all following my newest backup account. Thank you, Libra. If you voted for Donald Trump, let's hit that guest request and come on up. You haunt a house? What the fuck does that mean? Special K, did you vote for Trump?
I'm sorry, I was just tapping.
Oh, that's okay. Thank you. I appreciate that. If you voted for Donald Trump, hit the guest request. I should run a game at a carnival. Why is that, Kathy?
Why is that? What does it even mean? Is that supposed to be like a dig or something? You should run a game at a carnival. What the fuck does that mean? Anywho, if you voted for Donald Trump, hit the guest request. Come on up. Oh yeah, Teresa. Him schlepping out his graphs to be like, look at my economy's great. This is like Sharpie doing using a Sharpie on the hurricane. Oh, let me go make up my own numbers. Let me go make up my own numbers. He fires the lady because he didn't like the numbers. Oh, thank you, Tara. Those are beautiful. I love those hot air balloons. Hey, a nurse in New Jersey. Hi, everybody. Make sure over there on the tube, it's your hitting the like. Let's see everybody get the thumbs up. If you voted for Donald Trump, hit the guest request. Come on up. If you're over on the other side, if you want to call in, if you voted for Trump, you can call in the number. It's tagged. It's posted at the top of the chat. What's people believe him? Oh, I know. I'm sure those people will come up here and be like, "Did you see his numbers? His numbers is great." His numbers were great when they literally are opposite of everything that the actual numbers were. Did you see that? East Texas, you vote for Trump?
Yes.
How old are you and what state? How old are you and what state did you vote in?
I'm 32 and I live in Texas. I'm born in Texas.
Okay.
Let me guess. You're a liberal, transvestite snowflake that California or Colorado, where are you from? California?
Florida.
Oh.
Fuck off with your transphobia. Fucking disgusting. They are so obsessed with genitals and other people's genitals. It's fucking wild. Disgusting. So obsessed. Thou doth protestest too much. That's MAGA. It's just weird. I never think of anyone else's genitals, ever. Ever. It doesn't cross my mind. But these people are obsessed. And it's disturbing. If you voted for Donald Trump, hit the guest request. All their closets are made of glass. That is true. I bet you're from California. Nope, I'm in Florida, bitches. Oh my God. That has to be the number one, the best modern day use of propaganda is the attack on transgender individuals. That propaganda has worked like a charm. And it's bizarre. If you voted for Donald Trump, hit that guest request. Come on up. Right? They just unable to even have a conversation, that girl. I mean, it's wild. The tail. Shut the fuck up. Who cares? If you voted for Donald Trump, hit the guest request and come up. Hey, Diva Talks. Talks. Hey, where's all my Trump voters? They are MIA. Where are you? Yeah, they only tag marginal groups because they're gross. Is it Russia propaganda or Heritage Foundation? Probably both. If you voted for Donald Trump, hit the guest request and come on up. It's just that simple. Coffee talk. Oh, your coffee talk. Okay, got it. Misty. Wow, hi, Pinche Primo. Hi. Welcome in. It's Friday. MAGA's at Walmart. That was funny, Electric Elshar. If you voted for Donald Trump, hit the gas request. Come on up. Commissioner of IRS was fired. He's firing everybody, just like he did the first administration. You don't do what he said, fired. If I don't like what you do, fired. You Democrats like to gaslight and BS a lot. What are we gaslighting about? Fritz, why don't you come up and talk to me? Come on, Fritz. Oh, there you are. Oh, no, you're not. That's my backup down there. You don't hear anyone crying about low gas prices? It's because they're not low. They're not low. I bet you believe they're going in somewhere, huh? Bless your heart. Bless your heart. Hit the guest request. Come on up if you voted for Donald Trump. Let's go. I hear David wants to come up. Yeah, right. $2.67 in Arizona. It's still almost $3 here in Florida. But we also have the highest inflation in the entire country because we have a governor that's inept. Thank you, Rick. Let me look. Oh, okay. Rick C sent $5 to my cash lap for a $5 challenge. He's challenging everybody that's watching right now that wants to or is able to send $5 to my Cash App or Venmo to support my live, since I am fully and completely crowdfunded. Thank you so much, Rick. So if you want to participate in the $5 challenge, it's spelled the same way on both of those apps. It's right there at Diava Talks. I really appreciate it. I appreciate the support. Can't do this every day without you. If you voted for Donald Trump, hit the gas request and come on up. $5 gas in Northern California. Wow. $4.69 in Seattle. My daughter's going to Seattle tomorrow for a few days. My adult daughter, obviously. If you voted for Donald Trump, hit the guest request and come on up. Oh, you're in Seattle? Cool. She's going to Seattle to see her best friend from middle school, lives in Seattle. Hey, Brighton. And she just had a baby. So she's going to go meet the baby. If you voted for Trump, hit the guest request. Come on up. Oh, she's going to love it if it's not hot up there right now. She would move to Alaska probably if she could. Oh, you're in Seattle too? Cool. Yep, she's going tomorrow. She went there for the wedding initially a couple years ago, and now she's going to go back now that she's had a baby. If you voted for Donald Trump, hit the guest request. She's going to be there, I think, till Wednesday. Happy Friday to you, too. If you voted for Donald Trump, hit that guest request. I am looking for one. I've only had one come up, and he dropped the trans nonsense right out the gate. So had to kind of drop that fool. Oop, we got a flash goal of the roses. If I need 40 different people to send one rose for this TikTok flash challenge, or flash goal, I think they call it. If you voted for Donald Trump, hit that guest request and come on up. Looks like friendlies keep tapping up. That's okay. At least you're tapping the screen. I can see the hearts flying. Hey, over there on the tube, if you want to call in, if you voted for Donald Trump, there is a number pinned at the top of the chat. You can call in from over there. If you voted for Donald Trump, hit the guest request over here. Deborah, thank you for the $5 for the $5 challenge. Thank you so much. Appreciate that so much. Hey, Melanie. Wow, where's all the Trumpers? Where's all the Trumpers? They are MIA. Okay, Mitria, hold on. Irene, thank you. I will look. Thank you. I do check messages, but I just get hundreds of thousands of messages sometimes and hate ones. So it's really hard, but if I'll go through and I'll try to find yours. Thank you for the heads up. Welcome in, everybody. Did you see where under the cover of night, Donald Trump authorized the Pentagon to use our military troops to fight cartels in their country? How are you calling in from the live stream? Yikes. That's called war, an act of war, right? Like, we can't just go into other countries and like start unaliving their people. What? User, if you have a question, just come up, request up, and request to join. Like, isn't that an act of war without Congress authorizing a war? Okay, users just spamming the same all the way over and over and over again. So we're just going to give you a mute. We have conversations. You don't just spew. A new poll from who? Legger? What is that? Clearly not. If you voted for Donald Trump, hit that guest request. Well, Claudia's already told him no, but they're like, don't care. Since when has this administration cared about rules and law and norms and decorum and proper ways to do everything? They're doing whatever. He thinks he's the king of the world. That he can just, I'm going to send the troops in there. King Donald. He doesn't care. He doesn't care. If you voted for Donald Trump, hit the guest request and come on up. He's just doing whatever he wants because Congress won't hold him responsible. Yes, he is King Donald, and you should pack up and move because you don't belong here. Oh, you want a fascist dictator? Why don't you move to Russia? You can have it over there all you want, Boo-Boo Bear. We don't do kings in this country. That's what we formed this country based on getting away from the King of England. Hello. 1776. If you vote for Donald Trump, they're all, look at them all. They're all Kelly. Oh, he's coming up. Oh, how nice. Hey, did you vote for Trump? I'm assuming yes. Kelly? Kelly Durbin. You're on the live. Hello? Kelly? Are you there? Oh, you're there because you just muted yourself. Are you? Hello?
Yes, I'm here.
There we go. You voted for Trump?
Every single time he runs for president.
Great. How old are you and what state did you vote in?
I'm 62 years old in Texas.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. So you're fine with everything he's doing?
Everything he's doing.
Kidnapping people off the streets, throwing them in internment camps. That's cool with you?
Well, listen, this is what he's really doing. What you're hearing that he's doing, CNN, all that shit shit they're saying.
I don't watch CNN, so whatever you're talking about CNN, I don't know what you're talking about. I haven't watched CNN in years.
But you're listening to what other people are telling you.
No,
not CNN.
nope. I'm not. What is he doing? If he's not kidnapping people off the street and throwing them in internment camps without due process, what is that called?
Not kidnapping when you're illegal aliens.
They have, it is because they have due process rights. They're covered under the Constitution.
Not when you sneak into the state.
Yes, they do.
It doesn't matter how you get here, you are guaranteed due process.
Correct.
It doesn't matter. You know, you may want to read the 14th Amendment. They can't.
Sorry.
Everyone has due process rights. If they're subject to our laws, they're subject to our protections as well.
Well, you see, the Democrats make up their own laws.
No, there's no makeup, sir.
No.
It's actually the Constitution.
Is that so? Then why is it happening then?
Because Donald Trump doesn't care. He's a tyrant.
That's why he went after the 14th Amendment
Get the
first.
criminals out of the country.
That is why he went after it.
If you're sitting there voting for the Democrats, you vote for
No, sir. No, all you're going to do, sir, article.
You gotta overtalk me. You might as well just shut the fuck up.
See, you just don't get it. We want to say that one more time?
The people that commit most of the crime in this country are straight white men. So if you want to go after criminals, go after the people actually doing the majority of the crime. It's not undocumented immigrants that's committing the crimes. You can unmute. If you want to get rid of crime, then you need to go after white men.
You need to go after the people that are actually committing the crimes, because 90% of the people that were sent to El Salvador, sir, never committed a crime. Not a single crime in this country.
I invited you to unmute. All you had to do is accept the invitation. I have the Constitution right here if you want me to read you the 14th Amendment.
No, I don't want you to, because you're gonna put your part into it. Make it.
There is no me putting it into it if I'm reading it straight from the Constitution. Why do you think that we make things up when I just read what the Constitution says? You care about crime in this country. Is that what I'm hearing?
There's nothing you can do about crime in this country.
You voted for a convicted felon who's committing crimes and who committed fraud and committed essay.
No, he did not.
He surely did.
You are so misinformed.
Misinformed, sir. That was a jury.
It was a jury of idiots.
That his attorney picked.
Made up shit as they went along.
That his attorney picked.
Now instead of doing their damn job.
His attorney picked the jurors. So you're saying his attorney's stupid too?
Possibility. Probably.
And you know who it is? You know who his attorney was for his felony case? It was the Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche that he has in office right now, who's the Deputy Attorney General. That's who defended him in the court case. He is the sitting direct Deputy Attorney General of the United States right now. He's not a dummy.
I put up with the Democrats for 4 years because Joe was too fucked up to do anything.
Well, I'm not going to do the talking.
This is stupid. He knows nothing.
Yeah, you know absolutely nothing, sir.
Nothing.
You think people are skewing the 14th Amendment? The only person who bring up the 14th Amendment is the President of the United States at this very moment.
I'm like, I'll read it to you. And he's like, you can't put your own stuff in it. Who the fuck does that? If I'm just reading straight from the Constitution, I don't have anything to put into it. I don't have anything to add. It just is what it is. I swear these people want a dictator. They want someone to just tell them what to do so they can just say, yes, daddy. Yes, daddy. They used to be, remember Republicans were the strict constitutionalists? Now they're like, screw the Constitution. We don't care. They went from law and order to, we'll do whatever the fuck we want. I don't get it. It's just so bizarre. If you voted for Donald Trump, hit the guest request and come on up.
I'm not sure who Marcy Moore is.
I'm not sure either, but we'll find out. Marcy, did you vote for Trump?
Heck no.
Okay, W's. Must have been a tapping error. If you voted for Donald Trump, hit that guest request. Come on up. They are thoroughly brainwashed. That is true.
Now we're changing the words to the 14th.
He legit was like, "You're going to add your own spin," or what? I'm like, what? I don't. We're going to need to have a massive reset in this country. A deprogramming. Wild. Giants, did you vote for Trump?
Yes, I did. Hello, Val.
How old are you, and what state did you vote in?
Dixie, Michigan.
Oh, is this Ray?
Yes, Ray. I was like, hold on a minute. I know this voice.
Val, you're good, buddy. I like it.
This
I was on
is
the phone, Val. That was good.
DJ 2.0.
The reason why he's on the back of his account is because I blocked him on his main account. That's why he's coming up on the back of account.
Yeah, you could unblock me if you want.
Why would I?
No, Val was good. He made some good points before on the live. So, hey, what I wanted to ask you about, Chicago. I think 100,000 immigrants were brought to the Chicagoland area.
By who?
Well, no, I think immigration about 100,000.
By who? By who? Who sent them to Chicago?
Oh, the governor of Texas.
Right. This is very important.
No, all I want to know was, you think immigration takes services like the hospitals? I mean, too many coming in at one time. We have to regulate it. That's my only thing about it.
Hold on.
Yeah, but see,
Go ahead.
I was just saying, well, the thing is that Texas gets billions of dollars from the federal government to take care of these immigrants. They shipped them up to Chicago, but didn't send the money with them. That's the problem. They're sending them to Democrat cities without the money to care for them. Abbott's just keeping the money.
In the end, this was a stunt. Okay.
Yes.
And not only that, sir, it's actually a crime. What they actually did was human trafficking.
It's human trafficking.
But that's not where I'm trying to get. At some point, do we have to regulate so we don't get overwhelmed?
No.
Hold on. I think I understand what he's asking. And sir, there was a bill that did that.
Yeah, I know the Langford bill.
Okay. Do you know what else did that?
Yeah, but the problem with the Langford bill, it wasn't going to.
No. Do you know what else did that?
What?
The EO that Biden put together.
Yeah, he put it together in 24. That was good. He did that.
Right, but that EO also limited the number of people.
That could come in. Now there's nothing. There's no limit. But I mean, obviously, but the reason why people aren't coming here anymore right now is because the United States has turned into a terrorist state. We are kidnapping people off the streets and terrorizing brown people. So I wouldn't come here either.
This has even gotten to the fact that tourism is now dropped by, it was 11%. It is now 15%. Tourism in this country. We have the EU and countries in the EU that have put us on the no-fly list.
They've told citizens not to come here because we're on the United Nations. What's that? What is the United Nations humanitarian watch? Because we're losing our civil liberties in this country for the first fucking time.
I mean, Donald Trump has a lot of firsts in his career as president.
It's all bad.
Things to hurt this country. That right there that you just talked about. It's also a first that we had our credit rating drop because they didn't pay the bill during that administration. There's a lot of things he's put us on the first, and none of them good.
Nope.
Well, he is deporting less than Biden, so maybe,
What?
And sir, there's two reasons behind that. One, there was no real plan here.
No, they're ramping it up. That's what they're trying to do.
No, there's no ramp up, sir. You can't ramp up when you're just going out trying to grab people off the street without due process. Okay,
It's
that
sick.
in this trap that actually breaks the Fourth Amendment, the Fifth Amendment, the Sixth Amendment. In this traps that you're setting up, you're creating a nightmare for due process. Okay, and you're also getting American citizens in this. You've gotten people that have served the military that were here because they served the military in this process. There is zero plan. This is a snatching grab.
I think he realizes because he made the. Because remember, he mentioned that
He doesn't realize nothing.
He don't know shit.
He doesn't. Sir.
he said he wanted to.
realize nothing. This is a problem.
He's
sir.
dumb.
This is a problem of people in the administration that do not know how to do the jobs they were tasked to do.
He's not that dumb. He became president. When
He's
he was
dumb. He's
Sir,
dumb.
He's dumb. Okay, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about this. Money made him president.
Correct.
Make no mistake of that.
And propaganda.
Can I say this one thing about being smart? If you were smart in 2021 and you were wanted to run for president, everybody took away your social media accounts and you opened your own social media company. Isn't that smart?
No.
No.
It is.
No, sir.
Dude, you are so brainwashed. I that's why I don't want to talk to you. I think you're a horrible person. I think that you would have told exactly where Anne Frank was hiding back in 1930s Germany, and you would have been out there cheering on the browncoats as they were snatching people off the streets. That's what you are, and I don't like you.
I'm sorry you feel that way.
It's what you're saying. It's what they're doing.
What you're doing right now by playing the what if game, because that's what you're doing. Okay, by playing the what if game, you're playing a what if game with our Constitution, our rights. Okay, sir, you do understand, and I would hope you understand, that if the right for anybody in this country is broken per the Constitution, that opens it up to be broken for everyone.
If
And I told you before about I didn't love the way they were doing it, and I said they have.
But you just defended it.
you're still defending it. You're saying, "Oh, he's smart," and oh,
I
you're
don't like what they're doing. Yeah,
That is an actual attack on our democracy. It really is. It is an actual attack on our democracy. That should be a red line for anybody in this country. If you're a U.S. citizen, or somebody in the U.S., but especially if you're a voter, U.S. citizen voter, and that should be the red line in the sand. If you call yourself a patriot, that should have been the red line in the sand. The attacks on the Constitution of this country have to stop.
I mean, honestly, January 6th should have been when he put in the fake slates of electors to try to overturn the will of the people and make himself president. And I almost wish he would have succeeded, because then his fucking ass would already be gone. But the problem is that we don't have to show your papers. We prided ourselves with our due process and people's freedoms in this country, right? 1930s Germany, show me your papers. What the fuck do you think they're doing right now to these immigrants? Show me your papers.
That's why we have the Fourth Amendment, sir.
Yeah, so many people come in and just got out of control. But
No, that's not true.
Sir,
That's not true.
The C-19 when the Supreme Court said you can't use that excuse, you have to let people back in. You
right,
can't.
because C-19 ended. That had nothing to do with the Biden administration. They have no control.
I know Trump kind of caused that, but a lot of people came in and we can't handle it all.
That's not true.
That's not true.
You are believing propaganda. You're believing propaganda. It's not true.
I want to make sure you understand something when you make statements like that. There's 350 million people in this country. Okay? 350 million people. Do you understand that you could put all 350 million of those people in the state of Texas and still live comfortably?
Well, they'd have to make some arrangements for that, but I guess you're right if you're saying that.
That's exactly what I'm saying, sir. We have processes in this country that help us every day maintain our lives. Things like people that come over here to pick. We have programs in place that he has shut down. that allowed people to come over here and help in the farms and stuff like that, industries, construction, those types of things, under legal processes. And then most of those people go back home. Did you know that?
Right.
I saw a good thing yesterday at the Cubs Stadium at Wrigley Field. They had like 1,000 people that were just became American citizens. That was real cool, and that was probably under Biden's administration that worked good. So that I give him credits for that. I like Biden.
Not everybody that comes over here wants to be an American citizen. Did you not understand that?
Yeah, some
That's okay. By our Constitution and our laws, that is okay.
and I think we want people to come. We just can't take everybody. Right?
Yes, we can.
Well, I think when you say everybody, that's a big statement, right? No, we're not trying to take 1 billion people from China, right?
No.
No, but the people that do come over here are coming to try to get a better life. And in that process, they actually add to our economic future. That's the way immigration has worked in this country since it began.
Well, maybe they should have.
For you once too were an immigrant.
Not everybody wants to come here. We've been sold a bill of goods that we're like the American exceptionalism. Like, why wouldn't everybody want to come here? Because we're so fucking great. We're not. We're the only developed nation that doesn't have universal health care. People don't always want to come here. We have shit education. We have shit health care. We're not the best. Not everybody wants to come here. You have this idea that everyone just wants to move to the United States. No, they don't.
Yeah, but did the Langford bill have didn't they have limits on per day or something that would have helped that or something?
And so
Yes.
yeah.
Oh, okay. So we're kind of agreeing that you couldn't. Not everybody come in. They have limits per day.
They have limits. No, and that's fine. Nobody has a problem. No Democrat, nobody has a problem with limits with people that are coming across the border. That's not our issue, sir.
Yeah, obviously,
Our issue is this, because what the Langford bill really did, because we go with these limits and stuff like that, that's not what we need to be concerned with. To be really honest, what the Langford bill really did was address the process. Okay, that's what the Langford bill really did. It had the process down to 1 year. Instead of it taking the 5 to 20 years that it takes now, because here's the problem, sir. Because of the laws that were put in place long before Biden, Trump, everybody, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All the way
Back to Reagan.
to the 50s.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because of the processes were put in place, it took 5, 10, 15, 20 years, okay, for these people to get through this process, because we don't have the numbers of Judges 7. We don't have the we don't have the infrastructure that we need to handle the process of people coming in here in a timely manner. That is what the Langford bill. Because sir, here's the truth of the matter. Do you know the percentage of people that come to this country that claim asylum? Do you know how many of them actually get to stay?
I think I think it's less than 15%.
It's actually ranges between 8 and 12% per year.
It's really not that many people. And the problem, Giants, that I have, my whole issue is not that they're being deported, because deportation is a legal process. These people are not being deported. They're being hunted down in the streets, dragged into unmarked vehicles by masked people with no badges, don't identify themselves. So they're essentially kidnapping them, and they're throwing them in detention internment camps. They're not deporting them. They are sitting in a camp. Families don't know where they are. They don't have access to lawyers. That is not deportation. This is cruelty, and it's kidnapping, and it's fucking vile. So what we're angry at the Trump administration for is the method in which they're doing this.
No, I understand. I understand where you're coming from.
And the end result of this is the worst part. You know what I'm saying? And this is the end result of this. In the end result of this, we're going to lose almost $1 trillion in income that comes from that through the federal government. Okay, that's a reality of what we're going to lose.
And look how much money we're spending on these alligator Alcatraz and all of these ICE agents getting $50,000 signing bonuses and student loan forgiveness if they become ICE agents. Don't have to have any experience. Don't have to be in law enforcement. Any fucking Joe Schmo can just go do this job. And to house all these people, to feed all these people. When you guys were like, we don't want them getting Medicaid or food assistance because they're not US citizens. We're housing and feeding them now. Against their will this time. But they're spending millions and millions and billions of dollars to just kidnap people and imprison them.
And he did say it was supposed to just be criminals, and I know that's probably not the case anymore. So
It's not at all.
Wasn't it 90% of the people that were sent to El Salvador never committed a single crime?
Never. They're children with cancer. Children are being picked up. United States citizens, veterans. People are just getting picked up because of the color of their skin. That's called racially profiling. Like everything is against everything that makes us American. That makes us America. Everything that they're doing, it's just the Gestapo. It's 2025's Gestapo. There's no other way of looking at it. And if you are standing by this, you are no better than a schnazi. And that's how I see every single one of you who aren't denouncing this shit. And I equally wouldn't trust you around anyone's child if you're still hanging with this dog too after all this stuff with the files. I don't trust anyone who is still stumping for Donald Trump at all around any child. So I look at you as a schnazi, and I look at you as someone who's covering up for P3DOs that harm children.
That's fine.
And you're on the wrong side of history, my friend.
You will say, well, I love your show, Diab. I listen. Thank you. I'll drop down.
Fuck off. I hate. He's right up there with DJ.
Yeah, it's got the what if, but and I'm gonna be honest with people. You have to battle that. Okay, I know it sucks, but we have to battle.
That's fine. Dude, you can think of me as a schnazi and a kitty diddler cover-upper. That's fine.
Well,
fucking what? If somebody accused me of that, I mean, no.
I mean, at least he's a little better than DJ in the fact that he does not agree with what Trump is doing with, what I'm saying, with the immigration abortion nice things. And he did also admit that he didn't agree with bringing FEMA agents in. I don't know if that was in this live or the last one, but he also said, I don't agree with them bringing FEMA agents in.
But he's still stumping for Donald Trump.
No, that's the thing that you have to get past.
He's got to get past the ego.
Right. He's got to get past the ego. Really what he's got to get past is the pride.
Yep.
He has to get past the pride. Because, read your Bible. But the pride's the worst thing you can have in a situation like this. Pride has to go away. You have to actually see that this is a problem and eliminate the problem.
Exactly. Marble, thank you for the $3 Cash App. Lisa, thank you for the $5 for just a small bit to remind you that you're loved. Thank you. That was really sweet, Lisa. That was really sweet. Pride goes before a fall, isn't that the saying goes?
I don't remember him ever saying that, Kim. I've never heard DJ saying that he doesn't support Trump. That's something Trump does.
Thank you, Lisa. That was really sweet. I appreciate that. Angela, did you vote for Trump? Thank you for the butterflies.
Well, thank you so much.
That's so pretty. If you vote for Donald Trump, hit that guest request. There's over 900 people in here right now. If you want to help support my live, hi, I'm Diava Talks. If you just signed to me today, I'm here every single day, 7 days a week from 4 to 7 p.m. Eastern. I am completely crowdfunded. So if you want to help support my live, Diava Talks on Cash, Lap, and Venom. We're using code names, Cash, Lap, and Venom. You can help support my live there. Val has his payouts and in the link in his bio if you want to help support Val too.
Because I didn't see it until after the live yesterday. Thank you, Electric Gal, for the $5.
Yeah. Here for it. Did you vote for Trump? All right. Sounds like a tapping error. You better. Nice work. Nice loophole workaround. Brilliant. Nice loophole. Yeah. Cash, Lap, and Venom.
I did away with the 0 follow.
Okay. If you voted for Donald Trump, hit that guest request. I hear Blonde Babe wants to come up, but she doesn't have her invites on, so I can't invite her up. Nikki, you have 0 followers. I don't bring anybody up that has 0 followers with no profile picture, because typically you're a bot or you're just going to come up here and slur and crash out. So I've learned my lesson. If you voted for Donald Trump, hit that guest request. Come on up. Let's chat. If you're over here watching on the tube, you can call in at the number that's at the top of the chat. I've been looking for you. What happened? I'm on TikTok on my main account and here on the tube. If you voted for Donald Trump, hit that guest request and come on up. We are looking for a Trump voter. Only looking for Trump voters to join the panel. Okay, we got Chad. Chad, hi, did you vote for Trump?
No, for Trump.
Huh? Okay. I am looking for Trump vote W's. I agree.
In nice terms, I might add.
If you voted for Donald Trump, hit that guest request and come on up. I am looking for Trump voters and Trump voters only. B, why don't you come on up? You seem to have a lot to say. Let's have a chat. B, with the bows around your name. B will be muted if she doesn't come up, yes. Do you think the Dems will stay out of Texas? They are staying out of Texas. I know they slapped down some rules today that they're going to be fined $500 a day that has to be paid out of their money. It can't be made from the campaign funds. They're going to lose a third of their funding for their staff. And
legally they can't do it.
Yeah. And there was a third thing. There's 3 things they have the FBI out looking for them to arrest them and bring them back. Oh, and they're also not going to direct deposit their checks, their pay. They have to come in person to the Capitol to pick up their check if they want to get paid.
Awesome.
So, I say, fuck them. Start a GoFundMe. I think Beto O'Rourke is already getting some money, getting money together to fund them and all that. So call their bluff. Is the FBI really going to go and round them up and like literally drag them back to Texas?
Not legally under any law.
I mean, can you just imagine the optics? Which they don't care about the optics. That's what they're actually looking for is the optics. They are like salivating to see Democrats in handcuffs. But if you guys were worried that we're in a authoritarian fascist takeover, we're not almost there. We're there. We're there.
Republican Texas 55 married. I mean, you need to come up on the panel and explain that because one, it would be illegal to do what they're doing. 2, how the party is.
Are you calling in from the live stream?
Fucking stupid ass nigger.
Of course.
The party in power has to still make rules that are constitutional. There is no law against what they're doing. Breaking form has been a thing in this country for its entire history.
Well, Mike Johnson just did it to avoid voting on the e-files. He literally excused them for their summer break like a week or two or a few weeks early.
It was actually a month.
Or a month early to avoid voting on the e-files. So now they're like, oh, the Dems can't do it or we're going to arrest them? My God, the hypocrisy is fucking gnarly. It's crazy. It's okay for me, but not for thee. Ruben, stop telling us to be more polite to MAGA. It's like telling us to be polite to Schnazis. Never gonna fucking happen.
I don't have to be polite.
He says it every day. You guys should be nicer. You? Are you calling in for the live stream?
Yes.
I didn't put him on. I didn't put him on speaker. He's just said the N-word again. Ooh. Ooh. So original. Another racist. Woohoo. Oh, you guys still heard him? Ugh.
It was muffled, but we knew the gist.
Okay. I love the TikTok shop. Do you like the TikTok shop? Because I really do like the TikTok shop. The TikTok shop is great. Yeah. I think that Ruben is salty because he fucked up in his vote and now he realizes it and he wants us to be nice. He wants us to be nice. Because he knows he messed up and now he's regretting his vote. And so now he wants us to be nice to him. He thinks that we ought to be nice. But it's like asking me to be nice to 1930s Germany people. No, I'm not. I don't have to. Perhaps you should have listened to us before the election. People that genuinely left MAGA or people that genuinely leave MAGA and see the error of their ways and are ready to fight with us and help us. And they're like, shit. We can work with those people. But no, yes, he wants to be coddled. Like, oh, you made a mistake. It's okay. Ruben, until you start calling your senators, talk to other Republicans. You have some penance to do. The reason why all this shit is happening is because the Confederacy wasn't punished. That's why we're having to deal with this shit again. They should be shunned from society so they don't think that this could ever happen again. The reason why this is happening again is because they didn't do anything about the Confederates, the Confederacy. I think you all overestimate how much the average American fan really cares about politics. Well, it touches every single part of your life. Oh, this is Republican Texas 55 is Mike Jones.
Oh, is it?
Yes. He has the same profile picture. And then his name says Mike Jones. Like we don't click on the bio to see who it is. Most people actually care more now than ever before because they're seeing people getting snatched up off the streets.
Yeah, political awareness in this country is shocking.
you voted for Donald Trump, hit the guest request. Come on up. Republican, Texas, 55, married. I bet you really are just getting your DMs are just humming us. You had to put married in there. So you're the one who cheated, huh? So you had to put married on there? Your wife make you put married on there? You didn't vote for Donald Trump? Well, how come you always come up here? Oh, you're the one who only wants to talk about finances. You're boring as fuck now. We don't have to find a way. We do not have to find a way to come together with these people. You can't come together with fascists.
No, that's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen.
That is something that Germany actually did right.
Exactly.
They made that way of thinking a prison offense.
Exactly. Same with their symbols. Same with any statues. You don't see a statue of Adolf anywhere in Germany, do you? No.
When you fly that flag, you're going to prison. Period.
That's exactly what needs to be done here. That's traitorous activity. Disgusting.
Should have been the same way with the bars and stars here.
Yep, with the Confederate flag. In my little town, there's people still riding around with their trucks with a Confederate flag hanging off the back of their trucks.
I just want everybody to remember that's the flag of the defeated country.
Defeated. Red hat should be banned. Yes, we have one of George Floyd. He's not a Confederate. He was someone that was brutalized by the police and unalived. He deserves a statue. There should be no Confederate soldiers, statues. There should be no MAGA gear, hats, Trump statues. There should be nothing.
Wow. You actually agreed with that.
We have free speech, sweetie. The fuck does that mean? He was a criminal?
Free speech protects you from the government.
Not from me.
Citizens, correct.
George Floyd was a criminal, so he deserved to have his life snuffed out. Yep, tracks with a Trumper. Nasty. Even if he passed a counterfeit $20 bill, that's not worthy of the death penalty. Okay?
Yeah, I'm with whoever said, keep building those little white towns in Arkansas.
Yeah. Separate yourselves. Go ahead. Segregate yourselves. Go.
We want to know where you are.
Go. We know what areas to avoid. Guess who else is a criminal? Exactly. Trump. Yeah, go to your little white towns. We'll know exactly what area to fucking avoid and where all the little races went. Go ahead. Put MAGA on your business signs. Yes, Purple Lion. Put MAGA all over your businesses so we know which ones to avoid.
Yeah, and then get deported. That one's still the funniest one.
That Trump burger.
Yeah.
The burger place, and he's getting deported.
That is hilarious.
Yeah, you can hear Chase, Mitria. Yeah, Chase is playing Fortnite with his friends.
Man, you want to talk about roaches for rage? There you go.
That is the ultimate roaches for rage. Trump burger. Come see the Trump burger. Karma is having a field day. Karma's like, oh, I got you. Bennett, did you vote for Trump?
I did, but that's not what you invited me up here for.
How old are you, and what state did you vote in?
I'm 24 and I live in Texas.
Okay.
Did you not call for banning red hats and stuff? Like this
Yes.
a minute ago?
Yes. I said once this MAGA regime is over, once the Donald Trump is finally like behind bars or under the ground, just like in 1930s Germany, it should be illegal. We should ban, outlaw MAGA hats, any references to Trump, no Trump statues, because he's acting, and this administration is no different than 1930s Germany, where they're show me your papers and rounding people up off the street. So yes.
Okay, but that's what I'm saying. We have the free speech
What is the freedom of speech? What does that protect you from?
to display whatever ideology you want and its symbols.
No. What is the First Amendment? What is the freedom of speech?
Congress shall make no law respecting the establishment of religion, prohibiting the free practice of speech, assembly, petition, and this one more. Help me out, please.
Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press or of the right of the people peacefully to assemble and to petition the government for redress of grievances. It protects you from the government. It protects you from the government coming after. Hold on. It protects you from the government coming after you, like Donald Trump did to the AP News. That was a clear violation of the First Amendment, because he is the government, and he went after AP News for not calling it the Gulf of America and barred them from the White House press pool. That's actually a violation of freedom of speech. You having a MAGA hat is not. Someone saying you can't wear a MAGA hat or banning a MAGA hat because it's a hate speech symbol, then no.
Okay, so let me get this right.
That's not covered under the Constitution.
Are you calling for a law?
Why can't somebody walk into a theater and yell fires?
Well, because it's a public danger, an immediate danger.
So is MAGA. So is MAGA.
Someone wearing a article of clothing that has a symbol on it.
It's a hate
is
symbol.
not an immediate danger to the public.
It's a hate symbol.
Okay, but that's not immediately putting one's life at risk.
It could.
I mean, if you go into a theater and yell fire, you're going to cause people to
How many lives has this movement already cost?
I don't know.
I can tell you in the millions.
Yes.
Are you talking about like with Elon's cuts to medicine and stuff?
Right. Let's go all the way back to C19.
C19, when he botched C19 so bad that over 1 million people unalived.
Okay. If you want to make that argument, fine. What I'm saying is that like yelling fire is an immediate threat. Like if you yell fire, you're going to cause a crowd cut. You're going to cause trampling. But wearing a symbol that has something that you think is red.
The red hat is hate.
Okay, but the red hat is not literally going to put someone's life in immediate risk.
It
Like
does every
yelling
day.
fire would.
MAGA is an immediate risk,
Ideology can definitely put somebody's life in risk.
especially if you're transgender, if you're LGBTQ, if you're a brown or black person. It absolutely puts them in risk, because your movement, the MAGA movement, is one of hatred.
Okay, but please explain to me how, let's be extreme for a minute. Let's say I went into a mall wearing a swastika shirt.
You can't say that word on here.
Okay, the four-pointed cross, what do you want to call it? The weird symbol.
We got it.
If I went into a mall or a Walmart or wherever wearing that shirt, how is that putting someone's like, even just, you want to go, a Jewish person, or a Romani person, how is that putting their immediate bodily harm at risk?
How many Jewish people are in this world? Why do we have laws against white supremacists?
We don't have laws.
Yeah, we absolutely do. Yes. Hate speech is not covered under free speech, sir.
Yes, literally in the 60s, there was a law about a TV channel that was sued for covering a Triple K rally. I can't remember the name of it, but it was in 1964.
Right. That law was won because it's a news organization covering something that was going on.
Yes, and then they got sued, and the Supreme Court said that you have the right to show provocative, evil stuff like that.
We have white supremacy.
Look it up.
Why do you want hate speech to be allowed?
Because what's your definition of hate speech? It's a slippery slope. It's a very slippery slope to fall down.
There's nothing
No.
about the slope, sir.
Let's say someone worse than something.
Hold on. Bennett, you're way louder than Val. Can we hear what Val has to say, and then you can respond?
Yeah, there's no protection for hate speech.
If There is, because if I went on,
There is not.
even under the Biden administration, or the Obama administration, if I went on Instagram and started talking like Kanye West, I would not get arrested. Kanye West wasn't arrested, especially when he started talking the way he's talking under Biden. He's legally allowed to say the stuff he says.
You're not free from the consequences of it, though.
Okay,
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to. Bennett, I understand the law.
And it's a private
What does
company.
that-
Like
what does that
Instagram
symbol mean?
Instagram's a private company, not the government. Go ahead.
Sorry, and she's right. You know, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, they're all private companies. They have their own terms of service. They can do whatever they want with their users. So if you're doing something that doesn't abide by the terms of service, you can kick them off. That's totally fine and legal. This is not the government doing it. It's a private company. But I'm going to ask you, Bennett, what does that symbol mean? What does it imply?
the Yahtzee symbol.
That should be enough right there, right? Yahtzee. That's it.
Symbol of hate. Here's the key word. It's
Correct.
hate. The key word is
Hate.
okay. Now the First Amendment protects unpopular. or
Thank you, Allie, for becoming a member.
But it does not protect hate.
There's a part of 1A called Fighting Words.
So if a person wears that Yahtzee symbol out in public on a t-shirt, on a hat, whatever it is, do you think that people are going to feel safe around that person? Regardless of legality, do you think they're going to feel safe around that person?
If they're not like posing immediate risk or even, probably not, honestly.
Okay, cool. That's a good answer. It's a layup. It should have been probably not, right? I'm telling you right now that there are people like me out in the world where they're not safe if they come out with a symbol like that. So I'm telling you, not a good idea.
Okay, I'm not talking about myself. I'm talking about free speech in general and legality. That's what I came on here for. Because Diaba was implying that she wanted to make laws against people wearing MAGA symbols.
Yes. Just like in Germany, it should be illegal to have symbols of hate. Yes. Sorry.
That goes to the First Amendment.
Confederate statues shouldn't be allowed up. That's hateful. Those are symbols of hate.
You're saying that you want to make laws against wearing MAGA memorabilia.
Yes.
But that's against the First Amendment, and the Supreme Court in the 60s.
How is it?
Because people have it's the same reason that burning the flag is a symbol of free speech. Unless you want to make that a crime too.
Right? Imagine wanting to die on this hill.
Bennett,
You're not
after
hearing the portion that there's a fine line between that type of speech and hate speech. Hate speech is criminalized.
Bennett, I'm working with congressional candidates that are Democrats. That if we happen to take the House and the Senate, and after this whole thing blows over and we get done with this extremism that we're dealing with in America and this administration, I will be pushing my congressman, the House and the Senate, to repeal the First Amendment and start putting in laws against people that stood for this administration because of the harm that they have caused to people that were doing nothing wrong just because of the color of their skin. So absolutely, I want the First Amendment rewritten because this is bullshit and this is not the country I want to fucking live in. You want to come around wearing a red hat? You want to come around wearing, Yahtzee symbols? Guess what? You're going to jail.
Yep. Now I will say,
Do you agree with me?
I
I agree with that because it is a symbol of hate.
100% agree. Now I will say that I just did a quick. No, I'm just being transparent where I'm getting this from. I did a quick Google search. You know how they have the AI brings up like a general thing? It says in the United States, hate speech is largely protected under the First Amendment with some exceptions. While the First Amendment protects freedom of speech, it doesn't provide a blanket exemption for hateful expression. Hate speech is generally protected unless it falls under specific categories like true threats or incitements to violence. Speech that is intended to and likely to incite imminent lawless action is not protected. And speech that constitutes a serious threat of violence against a specific individual or group is not protected either.
Yeah, that would be like if a Yahtzee went to a Jewish person and said, I'm going to unalive you.
That's not hate speech. That's a threat. That's not hate speech. That's a threat. That's a criminal threat.
That's what I'm saying. That's what it does not protect.
It
Just like
says
you said,
symbol. It says symbols.
Just like I'm not going to use the German version of this. I'm going to use the American version of this that's going on right now. Just like the president saying that all Democrats need to be kicked out of the country.
Donald Trump says we're the enemy within. He's identified all the Democrats as the enemy of this country.
Okay, I know. I've heard what he said. I came on here to talk about constitutionality.
Sir, I just gave you constitutionality right there.
You didn't mention how. He made it. You said that Donald Trump made a statement that House, but you didn't bring up.
That is a statement of hate. That is a statement that creates violence and has created violence against Democrats all over this country. That is a statement of hate.
Correct.
And it's the same way we go after white supremacists. Sir, who does the FBI consider the largest danger in this country?
It's a legit statistic that the FBI says is the #1 threat to the United States of America. Do you know what it is?
I know the FBI says.
What is it?
That, according to their claim, it's white supremacy.
Yes. Yes. Right-wing domestic terrorism.
Now, who is supporting white supremacy groups?
I know.
That's a good look. That's y'all's.
No, it's not us.
Thank you for having me on. I came here to talk about law and law.
Oh, I am. You're just not talking where it's going.
Bennett, don't run away from Bennett, don't run away from this, because this is a reality that I really want you to face. Bennett, I really want you to face this reality. I want you to face the fact that people are dealing with this. They're seeing it. I am watching ICE agents with fucking 3%er shirts on.
Yep.
Are you kidding me? Do you know what a 3%er is?
3%er is a reference to the 3% of the colonial population that fought the British.
Yes, and what are they now?
What are they now? Right. That's the key.
People like y'all claim that they're like the new.
No, there you go.
It's not us claiming. There's somebody in my community. I was at fucking Dairy Queen, and this guy had his arm hanging out of his big old jacked up truck with a 3%er tattoo. With a Confederate flag in the back, with a Confederate flag in the back of his truck.
Sir, what does the FBI consider the Oath Keepers?
I don't know.
A white supremacist group. What does FBI consider the 3%ers?
Oh, white supremacy group.
What do they consider the Boogaloo Boys out of Texas?
Let me guess.
White supremacist group. Because that's exactly what they are.
Okay, but okay, this is gonna be. You want? How are they white supremacists, though?
Are you kidding me right now?
What have they? No, tell me. You want to?
I'm trying to. Bennett, help me understand why you're defending this.
Yeah, that's why I said, why is this the hill to die on, man? You're 24.
Yeah. Why are you defending this?
The hill I'm unaliving on is not passing laws against symbols or memorabilia.
Oh, absolutely, sir, we should.
Yeah, absolutely.
Symbol of hate, absolutely, we should.
If the Confederacy would have been punished and imprisoned, none of this would be happening right now. None of it.
I want you to go out and I want you to practice your free speech and see what happens. I want you to go take a flag, put it out in front of your house with the N-word on it, and tell me the outcome, if you can.
Is it just because you want to be able to say the N-word to people without repercussions?
No, it's because if a radical left-wing government gets in power, what the hell are they going to do?
What does a radical left-wing government look like to you?
Yeah, what is a radical?
Now,
Huh?
I don't know. Just some examples.
No.
What is a radical left-wing government?
What?
The USSR, Mao's China.
That's left-wing.
That's not left-wing. Oh, the horror of free healthcare. Democrats.
Communist.
Democrats want.
Yes, sir.
Hold on.
I said
Democrats.
not communist.
Democrat, I said radical left wing.
Okay, I'm radical left wing. You know what I want? I'm a radical left wing. You know what I want that's so radical? And like Bernie Sanders and like AOC, all the radical lefts, right? I'm one of them too, right? Do you know what we want? We want health care for everybody in this country. We want a livable minimum wage. We want free health care. Free college. Like they used to have it before Reagan. College used to be free, but they started charging money for it because they didn't want black people to go to college. Okay? So not free everything. It's paid for by our tax dollars. I'd rather my tax dollars go to my neighbor so Jeff Bezos can get another yacht. Okay? So I want free childcare, free schooling from K through college, healthcare, livable minimum wage. I know I'm so fucking radical. What about that is so bad? Please explain.
Okay, you personally may not believe in that, but you asked me an example of radical left government.
Radical left was not the USSR, sir.
Then what was it?
It's a dictatorship.
It's a dictatorship.
It's actually right. Sir, this is the thing. Y'all use the word communism and don't even understand why it was used in the 40s and 50s. Okay? You don't even understand why it came about used like it was in the 40s and 50s. But you don't also understand what the true meaning of communism is.
Communism is a government. There's no government, no money, and no hierarchy.
There's no Democrat that
There's
actually-
no Democrat that's a communist. Period.
Okay, we don't even agree with true socialism.
Radical left wing doesn't exist, sir. The radical left wing, well, they do exist. My bad. Radical left wing wants what I said they want. Have you ever heard of a radical left wing person say anything other than what I just said we wanted?
Well, I want to be real careful here, Diaba, because I don't want to refer to ourselves as radical left.
I'm just using his words. I know we're not radical
That's
left.
dangerous because people thought I want to correct the problem.
Okay, I understand.
There is no such thing as radical left wing that we have. We don't have anybody in office right now that would be even considered even close to radical left wing.
No.
And so you also know what would actually be really referred to as radical left wing would actually be people that aren't even part of the Democrats. Period. Left wing ideology. We do have some in this country. We've fought with some. You know what I'm saying? On our own side, because that's just as dangerous as what's happening in the Republican Party right now, because they are actually being controlled by their radical
Right wing.
Okay, and the radical right wing is just as dangerous as the radical left wing, because the radical right wing, sir, if you understood politics at all, is fascism. Okay?
I'm very aware of that, but you may not.
Okay, but you're being controlled by that wing of the party right now. That's where the Republicans are. The Democrats that are in office right now, most Democrats, I'd say almost 95 to 99% of them are really more centrist.
We wish they would be a little bit more left, a little bit more progressive, so that we could get some of the things that we need. But they're not.
I'm not gonna claim what you believe. You may not.
That ain't a belief, sir. That is actually a fact.
Okay, no, I'm not. I'm talking about your personal opinion.
That's not an opinion. That's an actual fact.
I'm talking
There
about.
is no Democrat in office that believes in 100% socialism.
I'm not talking about Democrats. I'm talking about you.
Okay, there's no Democrat period in office that believes in communism at all. None.
No.
Okay, because here's the thing because there's something you need to understand about those two terms.
I never made that claim, but okay.
Okay, but that's you need to understand those terms. When you say radical left wing, you need to understand the words that are coming out of your mouth.
I do. I'm talking about communism. I'm talking about the fact that.
Okay, but communism. There is no Democrat, not one, that believes in communism. There is no Democrat.
I didn't say the Democrats. I said
socialism.
I'm not talking about the Democrats. I'm talking about. You asked me why do I want to allow free speech for fascists, and I said because if a radical left-wing government is in power,
There is no free speech for fascists.
No.
There is no free speech for fascism.
Can I tell you
want to explain.
real quick, Bennett? I went and did communism, just because I don't think you know what it is. Communism advocates for the common ownership of the means of production, like factories, land, and distribution, transportation, communication. Distribution based on needs. Rather than being based on individual contributions or market value, goods and services are allocated based on what individuals require. Elimination of private property and social classes. Communism envisions a society without private ownership of the means of production and the abolition of social hierarchies based on wealth or class.
And there's no government.
A core tenet of communist theory is that ultimately the state government would become unnecessary and fade away as society becomes self-governing. So it's a government, classless, stateless. That's not USSR. Any country that has a government is not that. And there is no true communist country.
And there's also no real true socialist country.
Martin sent me a $2 super sticker, says USSR was 100% left wing. No one debates that. No. Why are they?
Political scientist that I know of, finding one that disagrees, says that the USSR and now it's China were left-wing governments.
Now it's China. When you're going back in history.
Can we do something that's a little more modern?
Or left-wing governments, but they didn't survive. China's capitalist.
Right, they didn't survive. Right, it didn't work.
China's a capitalist country. Get over it. It's not right-wing or left-wing.
No.
Okay, it's a modern capitalist, but they do have a lot of social.
Well, we're living in modern China right now. We're not living in 100, 200 years ago.
Okay, y'all are getting off base. Y'all asked me a minute ago why I supported free speech for reprehensible people, and I told you because what if a radical government, radical left wing gets in and bans
reprehensible ideology is one thing. It's when hate, you forget the one part. Hate. When hate is a problem. White supremacist group hate. Minority groups hate. The speech they put out and the actions they do are hate related. That is not allowed.
it literally.
Why did Europe ban this?
Because they don't have a First Amendment.
No,
That's what it came up with.
Eat itself.
Why?
They don't
No,
have a First
that's just what Val. No, it's exactly what Val just said. Why are we allowing hateful groups to go ahead and advertise and recruit people to this cause that they have to promote eugenics, to promote white supremacy, to promote hate, to promote harm against others? Why do we do this? This is bad. We should have done something about this back in World War II when we saw what it did to an entire community. Did you know back in World War II, prior to World War II, that we had German, they were representatives. Yeah, we had German sympathizer groups, and not just that. We had representatives from Germany here that filtered and told us what was good and what was not good for us to put in movies and TV. Did you know that?
The German representatives sent her a movie, and I didn't know about that, but I'm not going to take her.
Yeah, because we couldn't put anything in movies that was bad for Germany. We couldn't put anything that was bad messaging about Germany because we knew what was going on, but we just decided we didn't want to get involved because it wasn't our problem, right? And so,
What's the hate?
and then on top of that, we had actual Yahtzee rallies here in America. Did you know that?
Oh, they had one at Madison Square Garden.
Yes, I'm very aware. That's what and all of that was protected under the First Amendment. That's why they're allowed.
I don't want it protected under the First Amendment anymore. I'm good. I'm done.
Okay, then just come out and say you don't agree with the Constitution. Just come out and say it.
I don't. Actually, I've been very vocal about this. I don't agree with the First Amendment, and I don't agree with the Second Amendment. I say get rid of all the pew-pews and go ahead and turn them over to the government. Anytime you want to go hunting, you got to go to the government, get a license, and then you can go and use your pew-pew to go get a deer. Otherwise, you don't get your fucking pew-pews.
All right, thanks for being honest. Biava, do you agree?
I think they need to be amended. I think hate speech should not be allowed. Sorry, or hateful symbols. Because that's why we have this problem today, because the Confederacy wasn't punished properly. They were allowed to just assimilate back into society with that still fucked up ideology, which is exactly why we have this shit rearing its ugly head again.
Bennett, I am the extreme left. Because I've seen too many fucking people get hurt by this bullshit and your rhetoric. This whole thing to say, oh, let's protect these things because we don't want to hurt these people over here, when those are the people hurting other fucking people.
Okay, the First Amendment is literally the reason why McCarthy in the 50s was not allowed to do what I'm sure he wanted to do. Like, if it wasn't for the First Amendment, McCarthy probably would have had communists, slanged on Capitol Hill. But he couldn't because of the First Amendment. So just remember, the reason that people who agree with you were protected in the 50s was because of the First Amendment.
It can be amended. Amendments can be amended.
You don't think most Americans in the 50s probably wanted left-wing people and communists to be flat out, unalived in the streets? A lot of them did.
I don't know. I wasn't alive.
Well, you sure?
I don't know how they would think. I don't know how they would think. I can't do that. I can't put myself in their shoes. I don't know.
What version of history are you?
You were around in the Civil War, but you sure know a lot about that, apparently.
Well, yeah, we definitely know a lot about the Civil War, right? But we should have left a defeated country, and all the symbolism from that defeated country gone.
Exactly.
Most people in the 1950s wanted to unalive.
Why are you? I don't.
There was a lawyer.
Okay, I don't care about all that. I don't care. Stop. I don't care about all that. I don't know why you're going back to the 50s, going back to hundreds of years ago for fucking USSR and China.
I'm telling you that if it wasn't for the First Amendment, people who agree with y'all back in the day would have been unalived in the streets. They weren't because the government wasn't allowed to.
It's not even comparable, okay? It's just not comparable. I'm sorry. It's just not comparable. And I need to ask you, are you like a constitutionalist? Is that what you're like, a strict constitutionalist?
Yeah, mostly.
Then why are you okay with Donald Trump breaking so many of the amendments in our Constitution and you're still supporting him?
I don't support Trump.
You said you voted for him.
Yeah, 9 months ago. Or however long ago it was now.
So you don't support Trump anymore?
No, you invited me up here to debate law. Or at least I think you did.
Law?
Because about 15 minutes ago you said we should ban MAGA hats. And I said,
yes.
Do that with the First Amendment. And then you invited me up.
No, I agree that, you know what I'm saying? I agree some of these statements are extreme, but there's a reason we say it.
Correct.
Okay? We say it because it is a symbol of hate.
Okay. All right. If you want to debate someone who is willing to die on the Trump hill, go ahead. Thank you for having me.
Why do you regret your vote? I wanted to know why he doesn't support him anymore. Bennett, come back up. I didn't let you drop. I'm just curious now.
And we may be passionate and I may come off as aggressive, but the thing is that we were having a legitimate, real conversation with you. And if you just want to focus on law, hey man, good for you. But the thing is that there's nuance to being a human being in the United States. So come back up and talk to us.
It was a whole 9 months ago.
Whole 9 months ago, it's still happening.
But he was up here like defending the hate speech.
Did you see who was in the report?
I do. And after him, I'm like, I don't know. I'm gonna need therapy.
Oh no! Oh boy!
Yeah, y'all. Cash App, Venmo, pronto, please. DJ, hi. Everyone knows who you are, but just to stay consistent, how old are you and what state did you vote in?
62, Virginia.
You still riding with Trump?
certain amount of.
Hold on. I'm not going to let that escape. I'm not going to let that escape. No, I'm not going to let that escape.
Me too, Sheba.
Okay, so
Did you just say, I want to make sure that the whole audience.
He said no.
The words that came out of your mouth. Don't mute him. Whoever muted him, don't mute him.
I'll unmute him.
Now, did you just say you're not supporting Trump? I just want to make sure I heard that correctly.
said, Val, that I do not agree with everything that Trump does.
No, I said, are you still riding with Trump? You said no.
You said that. That is what she said.
I'm not right with everything that Trump does. Why is it that you won't let somebody finish a thought?
Well, I'm sorry. That thought caught a nerve. So go continue.
Okay. So I am well aware of everyone's thoughts about me and where I stand. And you guys have made decisions about me without knowing all the facts. I'm not looking for pity. I'm not looking for anything else. But you guys want to talk about how, anyway, forget all that. The free speech. In this country, you either have free speech or you don't. Do I agree with a lot of the speech that's out there? Absolutely not. Okay? But
Actually, the country has determined that is not the case. Okay, the country has determined that hate speech is not
With exceptions.
Yeah, that there's laws for hate speech. That is actually a thing.
No, I don't agree with hate speech either. Okay, but who has the right? Who has the right to determine what hate speech is?
I can answer that question.
Courts.
Go ahead.
Congress.
In Congress, yes. Courts, judges can.
If Congress comes up with a law about a certain type of speech, then
That's what we're saying. That is what we're saying. That's actually all we're saying, DJ, is that there needs to be laws that define what certain hate speech is.
Correct.
But now you and I can't determine.
Oh, I can talk about it all the time.
Absolutely, you can. But would you agree that right now in this live, that every single person is exercising their right to free speech? Would you agree with that?
No, because we're in a live and we're kind of limited to because of a private company, which is allowed.
Right. This is not what.
We're not the government.
TikTok makes their rules.
Right, but they're not the government.
Yeah, they're not the government.
They aren't the government. TikTok is a private company that has terms of service that you agree to when you come in. So no, free speech is not protected on this app because it's not the government.
But would you agree with me that if we were to say something about the government that TikTok allows, and would you agree that the government tried to stop communications during COVID? Would you agree with that? Yes or no?
What do you know?
No.
No, I don't.
If you're talking about the whole stuff with Facebook and the Biden administration, it's already been ruled on by the Supreme Court.
Public safety.
That's correct. It was public. Hold on, please, DJ. That was a public safety and public health concern. And number two, the Supreme Court has already ruled on that the Biden administration did not violate free speech at all. It's already been decided that wasn't done.
So the founder of Facebook did not write a letter saying that the Biden
I don't care. The Supreme Court has already ruled that they did not violate the First Amendment free speech. It was a request to Facebook to not allow it. They didn't command or demand them to take it down and to not allow it. They asked Facebook to censor that kind of things because it was causing harm. People are unaliving because they were listening to quacks and people that were giving wrong information and all of that. That's why they asked them not to. They didn't command them to.
A lot of misinformation that was put out during COVID. I agree with that 100%.
Correct. And so the Biden administration asked them to stop with the misinformation. He didn't direct them and he didn't threaten them, which is why the Supreme Court ruled that there was no violation of the First Amendment.
What you're saying is the Supreme Court ruled on a case that was brought against the federal government. Is that correct?
They also ruled that the administration has the right to protect the citizenry when it's a matter of health.
And DJ,
I'm just asking, was there, my question is, was there an actual case brought up to the Supreme?
Obviously, they can't just come out and say something without it being in front of them.
I agree with you. What was the case? That's my question. That's all.
I have to look, but
Again, I'm not worried about that, okay? But
well,
you guys were talking about earlier that if you wear a red hat, if you come out and say these things, you need to be deported, okay?
No,
I didn't say deported.
No. That's what it
So
said.
that's
I said arrested and jailed.
you didn't say anything about those people should be shipped out and deported. You didn't.
I did not.
Okay,
No.
well, I must have heard wrong. I apologize.
I absolutely did it. Now, have I not today on another live? I said I would prefer if we saved all the immigrants, let them all stay, and we deport MAGA. I have said that in the past because I don't want to live next to these vile people and their hatred. But today, I did not say that,
Yeah, that's an
Hey,
opinion.
and that's strictly an opinion. Yes.
Are you turning lefty on me, man? Because that's a great idea. I'm glad you came up with that idea. That's the point.
Which idea was that? To deport the people?
Yes, absolutely. Great idea, man. Let's go.
That's pretty open-minded of you to think that.
I mean, I will ask you, Jay, how did the self-deportation for the guy from Russia work out?
When most of the guys in this room, and I remember growing up, there was a time when there was open Nazi.
You don't use that word. Say Schnazi or Yahtzee, please.
Nazi demonstrations. And I can still to this day remember asking how this was possible. And I remember my grandfathers looked at me and he said, if in this country you have the right, please let me finish before you want to jump in now. My grandfather told me you have the right in this country to say what you feel regardless. The government cannot stop you. He said, but what you do have to be prepared for is the consequences of those words. So while it may not be illegal for someone to say whatever is on their mind, there absolutely is consequences. Someone brought up if you put a flag out in front of your house with the N-word on it, is that illegal? I don't think it's illegal. However, do I think it should be illegal? Absolutely. But if it's not illegal, you are definitely going to suffer the consequences of raising that flag.
I even said you're not protected from the consequences of your speech or your expression. And real quick, just to put a pin in it, because you asked, and I pride myself on having factual information and sources and backup. The Supreme Court case related to the Biden administration and the First Amendment was the Murphy versus Missouri, which was formerly known as Missouri versus Biden. The case involved claims that officials of the Biden administration, along with federal agencies like the FBI and CDC, violated the First Amendment by coercing or significantly encouraging social media platforms to remove or limit content, particularly surrounding the C-19 pandemic and the 2020 elections. So it's Murphy versus Missouri, or formerly known as Missouri versus Biden.
So basically, they said that there was no coercion by the government.
Correct.
Again, the only reason I came up here, it's extremely dangerous whether you're on the left. I agree with 100% with what Val said. The far left and the far right, either one of those is not going to do what this country needs. Okay.
What do you think the far left wants, DJ?
I think the far left is looking for, regardless, for their rights to be able to trample on the rights of others.
What makes you say that?
Yeah. Because they want to be able to say that regardless of what your thoughts are, regardless of what your feelings are, that if I disagree with you, then I'm the bad person. Then I'm the wrong person.
That's not it at all.
That's
TJ.
not it at all.
What a shock. What a shock. I mean, that is my opinion, Val.
Okay, hold on. Hold on.
Yeah, but I'm actually trying to help you out here.
Okay, well, help me out.
What DJ's saying, and DJ, tell me if I'm wrong, and I don't believe he's wrong, because I believe that the far left wing is just as dangerous as the far right wing. So, and with that said, there's a lot of what he said actually has some truth to it, and we've witnessed it, guys. have the same mood, okay? We've witnessed, okay? There's people on the far left that are just as dangerous as the far right. We need to remember that, and we can't just go against when somebody says that. I'm just being honest here. But DJ, I want to ask this question. Is that exactly right now what's happening with the far right now?
I'm sorry, what's
Everything you just said is exactly what's happening with the far right-wing government we have in place right now.
Give me an example, please.
You've got a president on stage saying that Democrats are the enemies within and should be deported from the country.
Okay? You know what? I agree with your statement that you should not, that is a far right statement. Okay?
The President of the United States said it.
Let me ask you that.
What about revoking the licenses of news agencies who actually fact check?
He didn't. He revoked
He's
them.
openly recently said that what should happen. He actually recently said that should happen.
Specifics. Are you talking about?
Recently said that should happen.
You said that should happen to CBS.
Recent.
He said what?
He said it before the election and he said it after.
He said CBS should lose its
License.
Okay. All right. Let me ask you this.
This is why I say.
Oh my God, stop asking questions. It's always, let me ask you this, let me ask you this, let me ask you this.
I haven't been allowed to speak at all, and all of a sudden,
Yes, you have.
I've turned into a hypocrite.
I asked you one question to go against something you said you were against about censorship.
And
You support the guy. You support the guy who supports.
That's not me.
You support the guy who supports the censorship, DJ. You voted for him to engage in censorship of people you don't want to listen to.
He got Stephen Colbert fired. He got Stephen Colbert show.
You're doing the crying, Val.
Hold on.
You sat here
That's
and-
not Val.
DJ, this is RC.
Okay, hold on.
DJ, RC, the one that you were grape apologizing to in comments for the last week.
Hold on. That was RC. That was not Val. Number one.
I apologize, Val.
Number two. Punch. I can't say your whole name. Punch. Can I ask you a question real quick?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a far left?
Yes, ma'am.
That's why I brought you up here, because you said in the comments that you were far left. So DJ thinks that far left wants to silence the right. Right? DJ, talk to Punch, because he's a far left, so.
I said the far left and the far right can be just as dangerous. Either one can be just as dangerous. That's what I said.
Can you explain how?
How the far left can be dangerous?
Mhm.
Just as dangerous as the right wing. Yeah. Explain that equivalency that you came to in your head.
Because what you're going to have is you're going to have the far left. What percentage of the American people do you think the far left is?
You're not answering his question.
I'm absolutely trying to answer the question.
No.
If I'm not answering it the way that you like it, then I'm awful sorry about that.
You answer a question with a question to avoid the question.
Right.
All right, how about this? The far left is a small percentage. The far right is a small percentage. Neither one of those two should have the right to have the majority of voice in this country. That's my point. Okay, that's the reason that they're a small percentage. The far left. I'm sorry.
Why though? You keep making these statements, but you're not actually saying anything to fucking back it up. So why don't you explain how the far left is as dangerous as the far right?
Because they have an ideology that I do not want to be brought out in my country. That's why. They have the right to say anything that they want to. But that doesn't mean.
What ideology? Can you be more specific? I think he wants some examples or some specificity.
Because all I hear is your feelings. Like, can you give me some actual facts and concrete examples of how they're both equally as dangerous?
Well, both equally want to cut out the voices. They want to cut out free speech. How? Okay. All right. Let's talk about this example. Okay. let's talk about the AB example. Okay.
I
Now,
don't know where EV becomes far left or far right, to be honest with
if
you.
you give me a chance to explain myself, I'll be happy to explain. Okay.
Actually, I want to ask a question to Punch real quick, just to clarify something. Punch, are you anti-capitalist?
To a fair degree, yes.
Okay, so you don't believe in capitalism?
No.
Okay, that to me is dangerous, and I'm a Democrat.
I can see how that would be. You could think that that's dangerous, but it's not. I'll tell you my most extreme controversial positions, and you can explain to me how these positions are dangerous. Okay? I'm a socialist, right? So I believe that the workers should own the means of production, right? The workers should own the factories, worker-owned collectives and co-ops. There shouldn't be a ruling CEO class that sits in a private board that figures out how much, where all the profits should go. That should be decided by the workers as a whole, right? I think that industries like telecommunications, healthcare, energy production should be nationalized, and they should be owned assets of the people of this country.
And I'm still going to consider that absolutely dangerous.
How?
And I'll tell you how. One, corporations with leaders, we give CEOs a hard time, but what I have a problem with CEOs has nothing to do with capitalism. My problem with CEOs is the laws that have been put in place that allow them to do stock buybacks and things like that actually affect and hurt the American people. I do not have a problem with somebody that took the time to build a business from the ground up, became the CEO of that company, and made a lot of money because of what they did good for themselves. I do not agree with people that believe that capitalism should all be about all company owned, personal company owned, and everything just being one communal pot, because that leads to, and I'm just being honest here, that leads to lack of growth. Okay, because people start losing idealism. Okay, and that to me is a problem. It is a very socialist, very communist way of thinking, and I'm glad that you said you are far left, but to me, that idealism is a problem.
Well, the thing is that I'm not actually really far left. It's just far left compared to people like you that are more centrists that think that corporations doing stock buybacks is the logical outcome and conclusion of capitalism, and the capitalism eventually in its late stages.
Oh, there it is. I was waiting for that.
Always leads
Oh, late stage capitalism?
Late stage. I was waiting for that actual term to come up. So, what is the term late stage capitalism? Explain that to me, please.
Well, 40 years of extricating wealth from the working class and concentrating it into the hands of very few people.
And what historical fact do you have to back that up?
The last 40 years of what we've been living through with American
history. No, you didn't understand. You didn't understand the question.
Right. So can you understand how we're not in late stage capitalism right
There's
now?
no such thing as late stage capitalism. We're just capitalists with some problems, with some laws that need to be put in place that actually gets capitalism under control, that the Republican Party has allowed to happen.
I was going to say the Republicans are the ones who have perpetuated that more than anything.
Republican capitalism is bad, but Democratic capitalism.
Just hold on for a second, Mike. How old are you?
I'm 43.
All right. So you actually have lived through the recessions Republicans have created and watched Democrats clean them up, right?
Right.
So dealing with the system we have, just trying to be realistic instead of wishful thinking that we might have a socialist society that utopia, I guess you imagine, would exist. We have the system we have, right? Dealing with the system we have, Democrats have handled capitalism better. What you're complaining about is lack of regulation
And unfettered capitalism.
Right, but here's my issue, right? I understand and I realize that we're never going to live in a fully socialist society, right? But you guys are taking that conclusion that you came to, and you're completely discounting and negating socialist ideas as a whole.
We're not. I'm actually in agreement that capitalism needs regulation, but your idea that we're in late stage because we've had bad regulation for a few decades doesn't mean that it's going to go away. Capitalism isn't just going to go away.
But capitalism buys everything, including our government, to have it succeed.
Again, regulations. We can have campaign finance reform that removes dark money, right? That has actually, in the end, you're talking about people that are manipulating capitalism to their end, and that can be regulated, like all human behavior, right?
Right. The problem is that capitalism will exploit and exhaust all.
People vote for the right representatives to put the right regulations in place. We can have a capitalism society where it's actually regulated to work for us, like it has in the past, right?
Right. Who do you think those regulations benefit?
Again, Democrats have put in regulations. It was Republicans who did not believe in them, who undermined the ones that Democrats have passed, like Obama with Dodd-Frank, who got that undermining Trump, right? So if you voted for Democrats to help stop Republicans from undermining those regulations, then at least you did your part. But we have to keep that going, right?
I'm not saying don't vote for Democrats.
That's my point. That's my
saying,
point, Punch. Ultimately, that's where we are. We're going to vote for Democrats in the system we have to fix capitalism and regulations and healthcare and education and the prison system. We can fix these things if we keep voting for the right people, right?
Right, but I'm trying to explain to you that it's really hard to keep continually swallowing as a leftist.
If there you are, basically your own worst enemy. You're just now going to start describing against what you just agreed should be the fix, right?
No,
we can solve these things without complaining and whining. Can you stop pointing at a problem and help us fix it? Pointing at the problem isn't going to solve it.
It really fucking sucks to continually just be expected to vote for Democrats and continually.
But then we get people like Trump. It undermines.
Right, but when I have to hear dumbass liberals saying that
I'm a dumbass liberal, I'm a dumbass liberal.
Yet I'm expected.
I'm a dumbass liberal. How am I a dumbass liberal?
To get leftists.
How am I a dumbass?
Okay, hold on.
Takes time and commitment.
I was going to say, yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. I was going to say the problem I think that we have, the frustration I'm feeling right now, is because you are saying, well, how long can we keep voting for Democrats? We have a fucking fascist dictator because a lot of leftists didn't want to vote for Kamala Harris because she wasn't, progressive enough. She wasn't progressive enough for me, but she was at least going in the right direction that I wanted to go. She was not going right wing. And it was, you can't, you want the perfect and you want it all. You want the perfect. You want everything to be just the way you want it. We got to get there first. We have to get there first.
We just want our ideas to actually be heard, and like I said, to quit being marginalized and being fear-mongering to make people afraid of socialists, like we are the same as fascists.
Hold on, I want to clear something up. We don't marginalize people that have left-wing ideas. We don't marginalize those people. Hold on, sir. No, I want to make.
You just said that I'm as dangerous as a.
I want that you are, but I want to make something. This is why I say you are, because it was far left-wing ideology that put us in the situation that we are right now. And I'm going to be very honest about that. It is that ideology that allowed 4 million people in this country to vote for third party because they kept saying that we're not left enough. And they want their ideas right now instead of working with people to make those ideas better that would actually benefit the country and not crush it. That is the problem. You're not marginalized, sir. We're not marginalizing you. You marginalized yourself.
Jim, did you want to say something to Punch?
Yeah, I mean, I'm shocked right now because now and Punch, I have no ill feelings against you, but this is remarkable that you cannot see what you just did was prove Val's point, proved RC Duck's point. You became louder than even DJ. Your statements became more dangerous, and then you started going on the attack. You not only attacked you attacked Val personally when you started losing the argument. And that's exactly what we've been talking about with regard to the dangers of far leftist versus far alt-right. And here's what I'm going to say. If the bird, because everybody likes to say the wings of the feather, right? if the bird, oh, he ran. If the bird has the left wing and the right wing, there is no flight whatsoever. So let's be very clear about that. If you are far left and you are supporting socialist ideologies, you might want to do your research that most socialist societies have crumbled. If you are supporting fascism on the alt-right, taking away civil rights, human rights, educational rights, women's rights, the belief in science and math, you are destroying the very democracy and the Constitution that has lifted its society up. If you do not comprehend the dangers of either one, then you probably are the problem. When there is balance in a society, that is when a society grows. It teeter-tots on learning lessons that harm American citizens or any society that it's in. And that's the problem with far leftists. And that, Val, was perfection in showing exactly how dangerous the far left is. That bird didn't just fly out of the air and die. It just completely lost both its wings and showed us how unalive society would be if we tilt one way or another or cut off both the wings. It is despicable to me that we have to talk to men like DJ at this point with the wise of a 3-year-old to explain what's happening in our country. It is despicable to me that people do not comprehend that we have the ability in the United States under what's called a mixed economy. You don't have to believe me. There's a reason why the United States, being one of the youngest societies, has been so successful economically, is because we are a mixed economy. We have the ability to take care of the neediest, and we have the ability to come from nothing and rise to something. And by nothing, I mean many of us, including myself, came from families that did not have wealth. Many of us had to share bedrooms and bathrooms. I had one bathroom growing up with 13 people in a household. I don't live like that now because I had the ability to rise up and pay my dues and go to school and work hard and achieve my goals. Nobody gave me a handout. The problem with the alt-right is they believe everybody's getting handouts except the richest of the rich. And the true welfare society of the United States under this fascist regime currently in the last 40 years is the GOP. They are the ones bailing out the rich people, including Donald Trump, with 7 bankruptcies, giving him loans, giving him money, allowing him to defraud, not paying taxes, even while sitting in the highest office of our land. Miss me with your inability to comprehend the difference or the dangers of far leftism and alt-right. They are equally dangerous to a society, and when you stop understanding that all of us have a part to play, whether that's being workers, whether that's being voters, whether that's being parents or teachers or doctors or lawyers, you are part of the problem if you cannot see where we're headed.
DJ, do you want to respond?
I think that what Val said was tremendous. It was absolutely tremendous.
And there's the misogyny that he ignored everything I just said.
I mean, I did not ignore everything that you said. I think that you brought up some valid points as well. Unfortunately, I mean, I've been sitting here, I've been quiet and haven't said a word, and I just wanted to comment on what Val said. Okay, I'm not dismissing what you said, Jim.
Do you realize your obsession with Val, though? Like, seriously, I listened for well over 25 minutes, and every time another male spoke, you thought it was Val the entire time. And they don't even sound like Val. But the entire time, you thought it was Val. Because you're so obsessed with Val, because you know he schools you every single day. And if you really wanted to be a better man, DJ, why don't you actually listen to what Val says and comprehend it instead of just licking his boots every single morning?
Yeah, I do a lot of boot licking when it comes to Val. Yeah, you're right about that. Yeah. Jim, it's obvious to me that it doesn't matter what I come up here and say.
You're right. I can't stand you, DJ, and I didn't come up to talk to you. You are revolting to me. You are a grown adult who literally comes on this app every day and never learns. You are the worst of the grown man every single day. You have no empathy, no compassion, no decency for the harms that you voted for. And I'm telling you, DJ, you are going to reap what you sowed. Every single one of you who voted for this administration, it's coming for you. Because if you think it's only going to harm Democrats, you are sorely mistaken.
Oh, I respect that that's the way you feel, Michelle. How about that?
It's not how she feels. What she just told you is an actual fact.
That someone is coming to get me?
Happening.
That someone is coming to get me?
Sir,
Because
there's
my political beliefs.
Republicans that voted for this man all over the country. It doesn't have to be necessarily you,
Right.
okay? It's already happening to Republicans that live in red states. It's already, Alabama is out of control right now. I mean, that is the thing. They're, sir, you look at the electric bills in Alabama?
Shit, my electric bill's up 40% in Florida.
But that's what I'm saying.
I just got my electric bill and it was $8 cheaper than the same month last year.
You're making this about you.
That's the problem. Yes.
Okay. So I should cast my vote based on the people in Alabama.
You should.
What's the name of our country?
The United States of America.
No, right. United States.
Right. So does that mean
Because
that
I live in Texas and I don't
Okay,
know what
so-
somebody's going through in Alabama, or I don't know what somebody's having to go through in California, or Washington, or Iowa, or you know what I'm saying? Or that's the difference between you and me, okay? I don't care about what happens to those
that's
people.
why we have elections
It's
now.
the United States.
So-
Hold on, when you vote for everyone, DJ, when you vote to protect the most vulnerable in society, everyone else is automatically going to be better and do better. When you vote for selfishness for yourself and don't care about people in other states, that's a problem. You vote.
The words I don't care about people in other states come out of my mouth.
You said I don't live in Alabama, so why do I care?
I am telling you, this man is incapable of human decency. He doesn't hear the words coming out of his own mouth. You literally just said in front of 1,000 people, I don't live in Alabama. My bill was cheaper than it was last year. You literally just said that. You don't need to say the word I don't care any more than you need to say the N-word that you keep liking to reference. You don't have to say the N-word to be a racist, DJ. You show us every day. In your actions. In your inability to comprehend civil
I would
decency.
say that you are much more likely to be a racist as I am. Because
I am doing call-ins and there's people talking right now.
My friend. Not even close. And that's also the white supremacy in you that likes to literally make an accusation by accusing someone else of something you're actively doing every single day on this app. We've all witnessed it. And to me, you literally are the most dangerous because you try to act. And I love the fact that I bring out the rage in you because it shows people who you really are. It shows people who you really are. You can't handle strong women. You can't handle people who call you out, who hold a mirror up to your soul. Because I am pretty sure if we could reenact the scene from Ghost, those creatures coming out of the ground that snatch those naughty people up, that's your biggest fear. That's your biggest fear. It's coming for you. It's coming for you and all men like you.
Is that people will behave just like you do. Who judge people based on you don't know anything.
DJ, a lot of us have been following you. Like I watch Zeus every day. You've been on Zeus's live so many times. You make your rounds about. We see you, we hear you day in and day out, month after month. I don't allow men to speak over me, so I'm going to mute you. We watch what you say. We hear what you say daily, all the time. And you're like, you don't know me. You don't know me. We do kind of know you, man. It's literally Every single day, practically, we hear you, we see you on somebody's live saying the same things over and over. What about this? Or how about this? Well, let me ask you this. But it's always a racist undertone. It's always like, I don't give a shit about anybody else. It doesn't affect me. Don't care. You know, all of those things we've heard you and you've shown us over and over and over again, not just on my live, but on multiple people's lives, that is who you are.
And it's one statement. I'm going to make this really clear, DJ. It's one statement. I still support what Trump is doing. That statement.
Did I say that, or did I say I don't support everything that he does now?
If you support anything this man
If you support anything he's doing, you're not, if you're still riding with this dog, if you're still riding with the diddler on the roof, you are not safe around anyone's children. You are not a safe person, because anyone that's still hanging with the diddler on the roof, you are not safe to be around anyone's children.
Do you think he should be removed and face the accountability you so want for him?
Hey, Dobbs, I'm glad you asked that question, because you said
It'd be nice if you answered it.
Yeah, I'm happy to. I'm pretty sure that I sent you several answers to your question.
Yeah, you said answers that were great apologists trying to discredit Katie Johnson as though it doesn't fit in a greater context that Trump has a confession to being a rapist.
That Trump has a confession.
He also admitted it on the Access Hollywood tapes. He goes, I can just go up to him and just grab him by the kitty. He told you ahead of time what he could do and get away with, because, you know, he's Donald Trump. So when he does just that, you guys are like, no, he didn't do that. Yes, he did.
Dobbs, did you look up the information that we talked about on that video that you sent me?
Yeah, I did, and it doesn't discredit what she herself was on video saying. You just tried to use guilt by association, which is really weird, using guilt by association with Trump and ignoring Jeffrey for years, saying Trump was his closest friend.
You're still talking about the same
You're
woman in that video.
self.
What are you talking about?
You're convenient in your own self.
It's just, I don't get it. He's walked into rooms, teenage.
This is amazing to me that you won't even answer.
He's walked.
I looked into it, and what you
Okay.
tried to point out did
Was
not
that video
discredit
chopped
what she
around,
said.
Dobbs?
Hello.
What she said did not discredit anything. You tried, just because of who helped her put it on video, doesn't discredit what she said.
Was the case dismissed?
The ultimate point was, apparently because he paid her off. That's one of the reasons we can think of that it might have been dismissed.
Paid her off before she have the case dismissed
Is
in
that
California?
in a greater context of the same man who told a 10-year-old he'd be dating her soon?
He has a pattern.
DJ, answer the question.
Tell me what the question is.
Is that
Oh my
the
God.
same context of the man? You're talking about the man who she accused, and Katie Johnson laid out testimonial, whatever you want to call it. Right? And it's the same man who, in context, talked about wanting to date his daughter and told a 10-year-old he'd be dating her soon. Right? So in context, in the greater thing of everything Trump himself has said,
Oh,
you're pretending she
no.
discredited
No,
without-
DJ.
without looking at what Trump himself has said.
DJ.
How convenient you are. It's
Hold on, DJ. Zeus.
I believe in the truth and not innuendo and not,
It's his own mouth. It's not just innuendo.
DJ Zeus has played that audio for you of him coming down the escalator saying he was gonna date that 10-year-old girl in 10 years. Zeus has played that audio for you. You've heard it. Don't say the context, the this or the other. Stop it. You've heard it and you know it. Stop it.
Yeah, I mean, this context argument cracks me up, because a normal person, any normal person in this country that has any regard for children would never make that statement.
Can I say something real quick?
Yes, go ahead, Tony. Oh, you're breaking up. We can't hear you.
This you. I'm in a bad spot. I'll come back.
I mean, this is the problem I have with this. DJ, it's the defense, right? It's every time you try to come to this man's defense. I'm just going to ask you this question, sir. When does it become indefensible for you? We've already reached that point, and so you know. So has a lot of Republicans already have come to this point. That's the reason they're trying to do what they're doing in Texas right now.
to re-gerrymander this state is because they know they're going to lose this state if they don't do it.
If their policies were so fantastic and the Republican Party had a mandate, because they won this election, hands down, a mandate, they won all the swing states and all this kind of stuff, then why are they wanting to gerrymander all the states to pick up more seats? If they had winning ideas and they had a mandate from the people, why?
You know exactly the answer I'm going to give you. You know exactly.
No, I literally don't.
Okay. All right. Well, then that's fine. Do you want to look at what other states have done in the past?
No.
You don't.
No, I want to know why Texas, if they have a winning message, if Republicans have a winning message and a winning platform, why are they trying to gerrymander all of the Democrat seats out to pick up 5 more seats?
All you have to do, because if I make the statement, all you have to do is look it up. Governor Abbott has been crystal clear on why they're doing it. You don't need me to tell you that. And if you
You know what we heard? We heard that Trump wanted 5 more seats.
He asked them.
Governor Abbott, as the leader of Texas, cowered to the president of the United States to fulfill the agenda of literally stealing votes in the middle of a census. We've never done that before. It's not acceptable. It should never be acceptable. And I'm still talking. You disgusting human. I just don't understand what is wrong with you that you think it's appropriate to talk over Diva and I, but not over Val.
just never know when you're going to stop.
Coward.
I thought you stopped.
I'm going to stop you right there. Everybody needs to comprehend that every single American citizen has a right to vote. Every single district has a right to vote for the party that they want.
What the hell?
He's incapable. He's a misogynist. I'm over him. He's the worst human on this app.
Why do you feel the need to name call, Jim? Why do you feel the need? If what you feel is superior and you have the high
Everything
moral
in the
ground,
comment section. Have you noticed how
Why-
DJ talks over the women on this app every single time a woman starts to talk? Have you noticed how he denigrates us? How he doesn't have the ability to literally keep his voice in that same affect because it finally gets to him when a strong woman has a voice. Everybody in the comment section, can you please let me know that I literally am not the only woman feeling this or the only person on TikTok, that when women or people of color try to talk, he decides that he's going to interrupt right in the middle of what they're trying to say. DJ, the world is watching. This isn't just about the United States. Every single ally to the United States is witnessing the fascism that is taking hold in this country. And the saddest part about you, DJ, is you are incapable of admitting that you support fascism and the harm of fellow American citizens who have served and dedicated to this nation time and effort to teach, to learn, and to grow. And instead, you would be willing to set yourself on fire for a man like Donald Trump and the entire MAGA party who has abdicated their co-equal branch of government to steal elections and to harm the nation. That's who you are.
Finish, because I don't want to interrupt you. If you have that opinion of me, Jim, then you do not listen to what I say.
No, we do. That's why we feel the way we feel, is because we do listen. DJ Tony, I'm gonna let you go before I go ahead.
I'm sorry, host, but you don't.
I do. I'm sorry, but I do. I've heard you for months on end. But you support things that he does do, which means you are supporting
the United States.
So you don't have to. Just because he's the president of the United States does not mean you have to respect him or like anything he's doing.
I absolutely respect him. Whether it's Joe Biden,
Okay.
whether it's
Oh, bullshit.
Trump, whether it's Bill Clinton. Do you know that I voted for Clinton?
I don't care. I don't care. It's a non-issue.
You have black friends too.
Yeah, let me say this.
There's no winning.
Oh my
It
God.
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what I say or what I do. You made your decision about who I am and what I am.
You
Can I say this real quick?
Hold on, DJ. Let DJ Tony go.
Yeah, let the real DJ talk here. So, here's the thing, bro. Like, I've been listening to you. I've heard you in Nishi's live. I hear you in Val's. I hear you in
Zeus.
Zeus's live, and I came in the tail end. You've been talking about the N word. If you don't say the N word, I guarantee you, dude, you've used the N word. Okay, it's a guarantee. Just listening to you talk, I know you've used it. I've known you've probably used the hard ER around your friends and all that shit, especially coming from Virginia and being about Virginia. You done said that shit. And the problem I have with people like you, when you've got people like Val and Jim up here that are breaking shit down to you and explaining it to you over and over and over and over and over, I mean, ad nauseum, and you still can't seem to figure it out. And when you got a guy who's president of the United States who is actively trying to get the people that look like me, you got an uptick in all kinds of racial shit that's happening in this country. Why do you think that shit's happening, bro? Why do you think that's happening?
Because he's emboldening it.
Automatically happening out of nowhere, or is it being the messages that's coming from the upper part of this country?
Diaba Talks.
TikTok. It's for you to sit here on an app and be on this app every day. You're like, what, 60 years old? So how old are you? You in your 60s? I'm 56. So and I've been, last I checked, I'm black my whole life. And so if I hear the N word on this app every day, every single day. Whether it's somebody calling in on Diaba's live and wants to just say the hard ER over and over and over, or it's
all the time.
It's all day, bro. Oh, it's just normalized. And you guys are doing nothing. No one on the Trump side is doing a goddamn thing to say anything about that shit. You ain't stopping it. You ain't denouncing it. You're doing nothing. You make excuses. This dude's literally attacking the African American freaking museum. Attacking it. Oh, we're gonna take some stuff up. You know, it's divisive. Yo, you fucking been divisive to my people fucking forever. But we're the divisive ones.
Not
We're
quite.
the ones that are divisive. We just all get along. You know, what way you guys complaining? Why you playing a victim? There's gotta be an oppressor to be a victim. Right? So it's just tiring to hear people like you to come up on these apps every fucking day and just be yapping. You ain't doing shit about it. This dude was all over the e-files, digging things out, trying to retract shit. Oh, all you fools, I'm gonna release the files. We're gonna get it all. We're gonna do all this shit. And then when it's time, there's nothing to talk about. Why are you guys talking about this? Why you guys keep on talking about it? It is the craziest thing. We are in the craziest timeline in American history ever. The fact that these fools are trying to put back up Confederate freaking statues.
Yep.
What are you telling black folks, man? What are you telling black people? What are you trying to tell us? We already see that the thing is, we already know what you're trying to tell us. We've been knowing.
In the middle
We
of
don't
all
fall
this
for the
is a
hokey
distraction. He tries to bring up going back to using the slur names for professional sports teams.
It doesn't.
Throws that.
Listen, it doesn't matter. I hear that we're desensitized to it. It's just showing us every time who you are. And you want to bring up Biden. Oh, he said the N-word because he was, not telling the whole story. Listen, we're so used to it doesn't matter. But who's doing the things to make it better? Who's trying to fix it? Who's trying to do stuff? So, like, you coming up on you should delete your app at this point. Because coming up on these lives, trying to explain yourself and some shit, you look dumb. You don't make no sense. It's all whataboutism. You're not learning nothing. You're not learning because so why are you here? Is this why you're here, man? And so listen, you can tell everybody, this 864 people or whoever, whatever, when you're in Susan's live and coming up and trying to go. I've hung out with Val. I've hung out with him personally. He's a good dude, man. He's a good dude, right? Would I hang out with you? Probably not. And if I saw you in person and I talked to you, you definitely probably act different than you are on this app, which lets me know that you're fake because you ain't doing what you say you are. You ain't.
There's an awful lot of things that you don't disagree.
They kind of tell you who they are when you listen to them.
What's your feeling? So,
Hey, bro, you can never just so you know.
I'm supposed to sit here and take you calling me
Hello, everyone.
Like, I'm not allowed to defend myself.
Hold on.
You stop now.
No, hold on.
You guys expect me to sit here and take all of this crap when I...
Here, let me help you out, DJ. There's a reason I say stop it a lot. Remember, I'm one of the co-hosts in this live, so don't ever do that to me. Because what I wanted to say was important because it kind of goes along with what I'm talking about when we're talking about the hate that's going on in this country right now. There's another pew pew at a college.
Emory University. Yep.
Okay, and so that's going on right now. This is the other thing I wanted to say. Trump is going to meet Putin in Alaska next Friday. Okay. Now I want to make sure you understand. People like you and DJ understand what that means. He's actually bringing this man to American soil to meet.
Ew. And I will just want to point out for the record that up until the very end, he never interrupted DJ Tony one time while DJ Tony was speaking.
Until the end when DJ Tony got under his skin.
We got under his skin, exactly. But up until then, of course you do. But up until then, he didn't interrupt DJ Tony one time. But if I speak or Jem speaks, he wants to just interject immediately. So anyway, thank you, Tony, for coming up and for laying out the heat there, because that was epic.
I want to say one more thing before you had mentioned earlier in listening. You had mentioned something about a counterfeit bill and like how they were talking about George Floyd should have been.
Yeah.
You know what if he should have been unalive? Let me tell you a real quick story on the drop. So I used to DJ at this club in Hollywood called the Roxbury back in the 90s, and I remember I got paid that night, and I came home and I looked at my money and I saw a 20 that looked not right. That's weird. I three of them actually. $50 worth of fake $20 bills. So the guy's like, hey man, you paid me in some counterfeit money, bro. He's like, we talking about my gas. What we doing? He's like, they played me off. Like they just like, nah, that's your problem. I said, okay, cool. So what I did was I went back to the club the next night, and I bought three different drinks with three different points that they try to get me with. So listen, it stuff happens. Like if you're not paying attention to your money and you're not looking, you could easily be floating.
Oh, for sure.
That they're out there.
Yep.
So like for this dude to be catching some type of case because you're assuming he knew. Some people don't know. They pull it out and flip it out. Because back in the day, especially the one place that a lot of those bills get freaking, especially back in the 90s, and even some places, strip clubs or wherever you frequent, it's dark. There's no light. They're just doing fast transaction, and those are the places that kind of money gets floated in. So like to try to make it seem like this dude was doing something nefarious or was illegal, and even if you think like, oh, I didn't know, my bad, but to call the cops like you were trying to do something is crazy, and he loses life over it is wild. So I just wanted to throw that out there. I said that earlier in the chat, like you could get some counterfeit money and not know that it's counterfeit and be passing it on accident.
Exactly.
It's happening.
Thank you, DJ
Anyways,
Tony.
thanks for bringing me up. And Sharon, love you. RC, love you. Val, really love you. And that DJ guy, you're whack, bro. You super whack. Change your name from the DJ. You give a DJ that name DJ a bad name on this app. And so switch your name out. Call yourself Virginia or whatever. Anything other than DJ. And with that, I'm dropping.
Thank you, love.
I love you. Thank you. I just want to make sure I say this again, that Val and my point that we, and RC Dubs for a long time, and of course Diava, is this idea that whether you're far leftist or far right, which is far right, if you are doing either of those, you're putting the country into a tailspin, because what you're doing is creating an imbalance that causes harms to others. And I think that it's clearly that there has to be balance back in the country before we can grow and progress as a nation. If we sit out the elections, if we don't fight for democracy, if we don't follow the rules of the Constitution, if we don't progress the nation forward, we harm American citizens and allies to a detriment. And I don't know if you guys are paying attention to what's happening in places like Idaho or Montana or Iowa, but there are alt-right, far right, pastors that are literally trying to take away the 19th Amendment right here, right now. CNN just did a live interview with these pastors, and they are literally saying that women should not have a right to vote, women should not have a right to work, women should only be birthers. That's it. Birth children, stay home, take care of the home, and that's it. You know, if you're a woman that wants to do that, I support you. But do not think that you have a right as a man or a woman that believes that way to take away my vote and my voice. And remember that the reason our nation progressed forward and gave women these rights was because of the men who left their women behind, who either by being widowed or divorced, who had no ability to support themselves, were left behind. And that is how we as a society grew and progressed to ensure that women could stand on their own, be educated, be members of society, and in every single part of society, whether it was during wartime or any time, women have stood up to become mechanics, to become soldiers, to become doctors, to become lawyers. We have the ability and the brains and the know-how to not only work and take care of our families, but to multitask while doing it. And if you don't remember, I can bring home the bacon and fry it up in the pan. I suggest you Google that commercial.
Right. 1 second. Hi, I have a caller from calling in from the live stream.
Yes.
Okay. How old?
Hi. I was just listening to your debate.
Yes. Yeah. How old are you? How old are you? Hold on. How old are you? How old are you, and who did you vote for? I just need to ask that real quick.
I'm 33.
33. Okay. Who'd you vote for?
I'm 33, and I voted for Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris. Okay. Go ahead.
So, what we're going to touch base on, you have a DJ in there, right?
DJ? Can you get closer to your? Can you get closer to your phone? You sound like you're kind of far away.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Can you hear me better now?
A little bit. It was just a little bit muffled. We could hardly hear you.
Okay. Just make sure he can hear me, because I'm about to say what I need to say really loud, okay? Tell him a little bit bigger. Just tell him.
That's mega. I'm glad.
Right on cue, right? Right on cue.
Glad he was muffled at least. Right? Mostly muffled, I guess. Of course he slurred. I'm glad you guys did. So he said I didn't hear shit. I'm like, good. Probably a good thing. Dr. Keisha, there's something wrong with your mic.
That reminds me of that old movie Forbidden Planet.
So here's the deal. You get some fool that wants to call in anonymously on YouTube and use a hard ER, right? This is my point. This is like, dude, if you're still listening, oh, did you learn that new word today? Do you feel proud that you were able to say that to me? You wouldn't say it to my face. As a matter of fact, how about you do this? How about you get in your car, whatever city you're in, go to your local hood, get out.
And say it loud and proud.
And say it really loud. Say exactly what you just said on the internet anonymously. And say that shit. Okay? You saying it on the internet like you're some tough guy. Oh, I said the N-word. I hurt his feelings. You didn't hurt my feelings, bro. That shit don't do nothing. You got guys see, this is the problem. You guys think you think the N-word's supposed to like make us feel a certain way. It don't. We've been hearing this shit for eons, decades, hundreds of years. You don't even know the origin of the word. They come up in these lives, and you think you're coming in here like you're hurting somebody, like you're like the definition of the word means ignorant. You're living up to it. You're living up to it. You ain't living. I'm not living up to it. You are.
You are. Yep.
So this is when people. This is the point that people were trying to say about MAGA and the Trump movement. Every Trump isn't a racist, but every racist
is a Trump follower.
So that's why people look at you when you walk around your stupid fucking red hat, or ironically, a black hat, which I think is kind of funny. Like you guys went from the red hat to the black hat, which I find that weird, but okay. You're ashamed of the red hat now, or the white hat, or whatever. You're changing the hat up, trying to change the hat up, because like you don't really want to let people know you're wearing a red hat.
They're trying to be
incognito with the same message, right? You ain't sticking with the red hat because it's too obvious, right? So you're trying to flip it. Doesn't matter, right? The message is still the same. So, like, again, whoever that weak ass, cowardly person that came up there, well, I want to make sure the DJ is still listening. I'm here, bro. How about you get in your car, drive to your local black neighborhood, because there are them. They're there because they're redlined. They go there. Get out your fucking car and say that shit, and then come back and let us know what happened. And I'm out.
Thank you, DJ Tony.
He does that.
Yeah, exactly. Dr. Keisha, if you want to unmute and see if your mic is fixed, but it sounded like you were dropping beats. There was no words coming out. It was just like, pew, 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 pew.
That's hilarious.
Oh, there we go.
I was on dog duty. So that's probably why.
You were on what?
Dog duty.
Oh.
I have to go, take care of the dog stuff, clean the yard up. I was listening to DJ. I was laughing. I haven't been on here in a while. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Laughing because we had a medical live the other day, and it was interesting. Somebody came up on our stage just to say the N-word to us, in the middle of like a serious medical conversation.
They can't help themselves, can they?
They can, but I'm thinking about there's a lot of mental health issues, and mental illnesses going on. And I also say that because a lot of us know I grew up as the only one that looked like me, and I knew where I wasn't wanted. It is so sad that somebody continues to come into a space over and over again with no friends to say the same thing over and over again. It really says a lot about, I'm going to tell you, just look deep into yourself, because if I came into a space over and over again that was flat earthers or anti-science every single day, and I have to question my existence and really what's going on in my life. I would just tell you that, DJ. There's a deeper mental issue going on, and I don't, want to take light on any of it, but that's what really happens when they come up here. It also stems from not having positivity, a positive self-image of yourself, to where you have to go somewhere else to down somebody to make yourself feel good. If you are truly successful, you're not doing that. You're not stepping on nobody's back if you're truly successful.
I literally, Dr. Keisha, I totally agree with you, because I don't go to right-wing lives. I don't go to the flat earther live. Like, people are always like, do you ever go to, right-wing lives to go debate them on their home turf or whatever? And I'm like, no. No.
They're all blocked for me, Diaba. I blocked them all. So
Yeah.
even him, he's blocked. I don't want them over my medical spaces. I will do fine without you. I'll be good. I'll be quite well. But as we are thinking, because this has happened to my dad before when he was actually in training and in his residency, that someone would come and say they didn't want that in taking care of them, but yet he was the only radiologist doing the procedure, right? And you need an interventional procedure for your life, and you're going to say those words. Is that God forbid you go to the ER or the hospital and a DEI hire takes care of your cardiac event, or DEI hire like me diagnoses your cancer? That'll be good enough. But
even more so, as you're saying that none of this is important, the number one thing that's going to affect all of us is our health care. It's going to affect us. You're not going to understand when your loved one has a rare disease, a rare cancer, or you have a cardiac event, and you don't think that the declining available staff of healthcare workers is not going to affect you, or there's not going to be a specialist, or in a red state, even to do critical care maybe for your daughter that may need neonatal health, because those doctors are no longer practicing in red states. You'll see. You'll see.
I 100% agree. And I have to just be honest with you. I've had several surgeries. I've been in and out of the hospital because I have a chronic illness. So I've been to lots of doctors and hospitals and stuff like that. Never once, if I had a black nurse, a black doctor, a black caregiver, anyone ever come in my room, did I ever question their credentials? Like, ever. And it just doesn't even cross my mind. Like, oh, I don't know if I want them taken care of. I mean, like, it's unconscionable to me. So I just never, not even as a child that I can remember. Like, it's just never been an issue to me. I don't understand why. I guess it's because they're racist, but they're professionals, they're doctors, they're nurses. Why the hell does the color of their skin matter? It's just never. I went to an OBGYN. I specifically wanted a woman. Because previously I'd only had all male OBGYNs. Went to my very first female OBGYN, and she was a black lady, and I had the best care I've ever had. So I just don't get it why people don't want people of color to be their nurses or doctors or whatever. I just find it incredibly crazy. I mean, I know it's racism, but I don't know. I don't get it.
It goes deeper than that. Let's talk about this for a minute, since race is such an important part of this conversation. They don't want people of color to be in positions of power, yet they were the ones that were raising the children, nursing the children,
right,
feeding the family. That was acceptable. Working the crops, doing all the hard labor. That was acceptable because those were the people that had not only the strength and the ability and the wherewithal to do a good job, but they couldn't have their freedom. But now they don't want them to be in positions of power. Let me just tell you something right now. I will take any day of the week a person, make sure I'm saying this clearly so everybody hears me, a person who has the ability to show care and empathy, kindness and compassion,
I'll be right back.
Work beside me and with me, over any person who thinks they are better than me or can achieve more than me based on the color of their skin. You give me the content of your character and your kindness every single day of the week, and I have your back. The second you open your mouth and you show me harm and hate, I am done with you. I don't care who you are or where you come from. I don't care how much money you have, because money does not make you a good human, and it does not make you successful. What it makes you is greedy, and you probably took it from somebody who worked hard to help you create that wealth. And that's the problem I have with the men like DJ who come on this app, who want to denigrate women, denigrate people of color, denigrate the LGBTQIA community. The hate that permeates out of these people is utterly despicable every single day of the week. I mean, to come up here as a grown man and not comprehend hate speech, not understand that hate speech is based on the fact that it is harming someone, taking away their civil rights or their human rights, that's hate speech. And that man sat up on this panel and tried to act like he had no comprehension of what hate speech was. Or mentioned the N-word every other 5 seconds.
Yeah, I agree, Diane. I think they know exactly what they're doing.
Oh no, they absolutely do.
I think they know exactly what they're doing.
Yeah, they absolutely do. I mean, it's trying to divide, it's trying to divide via race. And they know exactly what they're doing.
Isn't Putin a war criminal? Why are they bringing him to the United States?
That was going to be my
exactly
next question.
Can I Can I just do a commercial for the Medical Collective real quick? Let's make sure we're giving Dr. Keisha the support she needs. Her and Dr. Sharon, her partner in crime, is currently on a mission in Africa, helping many less fortunate people. And if you are not following her to hear her stories about her experience, please do so. But also make sure you're following the Medical Collective to ensure that you're getting top medical information that helps support not only Dr. Keisha's life, but you as a human being who may need to fall on some very hard times when you can't access medical help. You can turn to the Medical Collective for questions and answers.
And real questions and answers. I mean, real answers. With real data scientists, real doctors, not RFK Jr. Hey, Chris, how are you? Oh, sorry, Keisha, go ahead.
I'm sorry, I said let's not even talk about what he just did this week with
The $500 million in vaccines and...
So DJ included, all of you guys that have great nieces, I don't know if he has children, loved ones with children, I'm going to tell you to be very careful because already the cases are rising here in Texas and it's back to school next week for my daughter. And as we're having this rhetoric of doing away with recommending immunizations and boosters, and we have Stratus and Nimbus subvariants of C19 on the rise, just go ahead and mess around. One thing that doesn't care about you or me or my skin color or your skin color is a virus.
His disease, yep.
So go right ahead. And we're not even prepared for it. And biological agents, because since we want to let people know that we don't believe in science or immunizations, the same department that deals with preparing immunizations for warfare, that funding is dismantled.
Chris, hi.
Hello, my love.
How are you?
You guys hear me okay? I went through a ridiculous storm, so, oh my God. And you know where I am.
I do.
So, no, I just going back on that DJ guy, oh my God. Most of these Trump guys don't even understand what fascism is. They can't define it.
Same with communism, though.
No idea what the 14 tenets are of fascism. They even go as far as to say, well, the Democrats are they have no idea what it is.
No.
And that, I think, is the most dangerous thing, Val. You know, I'm sure you feel the same way. That's the most dangerous part, is that the fact that there are so many uneducated people in this country that don't realize that we're falling into fascism, and they have no idea what it is. They're not educated on it, so
it's not just. No, you're right. It's not just fascism.
It's authoritarianism, too.
It's communism, socialism, racism.
Thank you,
You
guys.
know what I'm saying? It's all the isms. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
They don't really understand. They don't understand the word democracy. I don't believe most of them understand what that word really
No, because
means.
they think it means Democrat.
Right. You know what I'm saying? They don't understand republic. They don't understand any. You know what I'm saying? They don't understand these words. It's not just fascism. You know what I'm saying? It's you know, they use them as buzzwords to try to gaslight.
right. Yeah, it's I'll just, you know, and I've been in a lot of these lives, and it's so frustrating listening to these people talk.
It is.
It really is exhausting.
It is. When I say I'm mentally exhausted a lot of the time after these lives, I mean, I am. It's exhausting. I know it sounds goofy, but it is.
I don't know how you do it day in and day out. God bless you, because it's so aggravating just hearing them spew, and they're confidently ignorant.
That's true too.
That's my biggest frustration too.
I think that's the worst part of it, that they're so confident in what they're saying, yet they have no idea what the hell they're talking about. But then you go on the other lives, and I don't like going on right wing, because then you get stuck over there on MAGA World. And
Yes.
I've gone
talking about, and they have no idea.
Nope.
And it's all, that's the scary part, is that part is being put out there, and nobody is, I mean, I listen to Adam every day.
I like Adam Cray. Yeah.
Yeah, oh, he's the best.
No, I'm the best. No, I'm the best.
You are the best. I'm not cheating on you. My bad.
Nelson, Gigi, thank you for the keys.
Come on.
I do have to say, Jim, you are a badass. I've always loved you. You're the best.
I love you too. But your flirting is making me jealous. So let's just stop.
Lori, thank you.
Let's just stop. For those of us who aren't getting the attention we obviously.
No, Jim, I've always loved you. The way you go off on these people is so satisfying.
It's epic, isn't it?
Oh my God.
I just want to be clear. I did not cuss at DJ at
Sandy,
all. Did
thank
you
you.
notice I didn't even address DJ? I was literally talking to the other guy, Punch Guy, because
Right.
Punch was actually more offensive to me than MAGA, because I expected from MAGA, but when far leftists try to come up and attack my brother and act like they are so taken aback by how they can be considered dangerous, he opened his mouth and proved it. He proved how dangerous he was. We expect the stupidity out of DJ. We expect the racism out of DJ. The fact that the far left does not understand the harm that they are causing and that they are literally creating people to be paralyzed, frozen from the inability to make decisions because of their bad misinformation. Can anybody tell me where that woman was that was running for president? What was her name?
Oh, Groundhog Day, Jill Stein. It pops up every 4 years.
Where is she? Because I'm going to tell you, in
We're
my
not going to see
own
a sighting. No sightings for Jim Stein until 2028.
Exactly.
That's having dinner with Mike Flynn
And Putin.
Exactly.
Yeah.
She might be in Alaska right now, setting up the dinner plates. You know, I'm just saying that this is the kind of stuff that happens when far leftists get out there and think that they're somehow the marginalized group. No, what you are is a group of people who have decided that because your stock in life isn't of great wealth and you have to work like everyone else, that suddenly equitable circumstances are needed. Now you're the ones that want everybody to have the same playing field. Nobody gets to move up in the world at all. And you've decided that. And here's the kicker. Val and I were in a live not too long ago, and there was a woman in there who considers herself radical, who considers herself a progressive, who literally said, I wouldn't care if those people didn't work while the rest of us worked, so long as we all had equality. No, I'm not feeding somebody who is refusing to do the equal amount of work that I'm doing for nothing. That's not what we are talking about in a progressive society.
No.
We're talking about taking care of the neediest from the greediest. That's what we're talking about. And when you think that socialism means that you get to have a car because I have a car, while you sit there and play video games while I'm working 10 hours a day, oh, you can miss me with that. You can literally miss me with that. I didn't raise two grown men to become successful so that some other man could sit in his mother's basement and eat Cheetos and play Nintendo 64 or whatever, PS5, 25, whatever that we all do. That's not happening on my watch. No, progression means that every person in the United States has access to health care. Progression means that women have the ability to have bodily autonomy. Medicine and researchers are getting the funding they need. Progression means that we are protecting our society as a whole, not literally cutting them off at the knees. And that is why China and Europe and all these places progress ahead of us, because they start teaching their children very young multiple languages. They focus on math. They focus on raising people up to be successful, not literally going, everybody gets a blue ribbon because that's fair.
Right. 100%. Well said. I mean, absolutely. That, you know, I don't know where we go from here.
I don't either.
The whole trying to steal seats. How do we fight that? How do we fight against them just trying to steal the midterms and stealing seats from us?
The way we're doing it right now with the Democrats, like fuck you and left.
Well, not only that.
But with the other states vowing, okay, if
You
wanna
do
play
it.
this game,
Well,
we'll play
gendermarriage. Yep,
this game.
that's right.
Yeah, so
New York can reorganize a bunch of seats.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So that's, you know what I'm saying. That's how we do it. We fight fire with fire.
Yes.
And that's how we do it. But yeah, I want to add on to what you're asking, actually, because you know what you're asking is how do we fight what's happening in this country today in a reality, right?
Yeah.
So you know, how do we fight it? I want to be honest. Not only
Can you drop me down? I gotta get going. Sorry.
Yeah, thank you, RC.
Thank you. See y'all later.
All right, bye-bye. Thanks for coming up.
but you know, I want to make sure we understand how we fight this is literally what we're doing right now. MAGA is not our only fight. We've learned that. Okay? That is not our only fight. The far left is also our fight. Yeah, people need to understand, and we fight that by calling them out, just like Jim just did, for what they're asking. You know, there was a reason, you know, because DJ was trying to get a point out, and it wasn't even close to asking the question he needed to ask, right? That's why I broke in and asked the question I did. Are you anti-corporatist? There was a reason for that question. And the reason was that's how I identified how far left he truly is. This country was built, like Jim says, on a mixed economy. Right. That is what made us great. What kept us great was what kept us great through the 30s, the 40s, the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, is that unlike what's happening since the 80s, we held corporations accountable for how they treated their employees.
Correct.
They treated the people that worked for them. There was no tax breaks for Walmart in the 1960s. Walmart would have never gotten tax breaks because they don't treat their employees well. They don't offer pensions. They don't, you know what I'm saying? They don't offer all the things that made it capable for American citizens to retire without having to depend on the government. That's the difference. That's progression. That is what we want to bring back. Companies need to provide pensions. If they want a tax break, they need to provide pensions for their employees.
Correct.
Back to the point when people worked at a place that treated them well, they stayed there forever. Yeah. Well,
That's like my dad worked his whole life at one company.
Absolutely. Well, listen, guys, I've got to drop down.
Thanks, Chris.
Say one more thing. Jem, again, you're brilliant. I love you. But Diablo, you're always number one.
I know. And I'm okay with that.
I love you guys. I'll talk
Thank
to you.
you.
Later. Have a great
Bye,
night.
Chris. Thank you.
Hey, I don't want to taste cookies coming back the other way. Y'all are gross.
Taste cookies coming. Oh my god. That's funny.
And you know what's sad? When you said that, I actually tasted Oreos. That was weird.
That made me laugh. Look at all the corgi butts. Thank you for all the gift scissors. Or scissor. Nelson, hello, love.
How are you, Diaba?
All right.
Well, okay, Jim. You know what? This afternoon reinforced the reason why I started listening to y'all. Y'all came for lunch and y'all didn't leave a crumb.
We did.
I love that. But I wanted to make one thing that maybe people know, maybe people don't know. How I feel about the use of the N-word and that we were here first.
That part.
Everybody needs to know that. We were first ones.
Yes.
So I need to say, and I want to wish all of you a happy weekend because I love what you did today. I do. Jen, she does it all the time. What's his son? Hey, DJ Tony.
Everybody ate today. We all full.
Oh yeah, go on. You did a damn good job.
Thank you, Nelson.
With that, I'm a drop.
I love Nelson. He's so sweet.
He's so
That's one of
sweet.
those people. That's one of those people I'd really love to meet in real life.
Me too.
No, he's just a fantastic person.
And he served our nation with integrity and honor.
He did. Boxer Mom, welcome.
Hi, sorry, I couldn't get to the mute button. I apologize.
That's okay.
Well, hi, everybody. What'd you say, Bill?
Breathe.
He said breathe.
What my dad would tell me. I'm just, yeah. Deanna, I never would want to tell you or anyone else how to run their life. I could just make one. Okay. It's hard with DJ because we know he is being racist and not believing in women. That's all I'm gonna say.
Oh, I thought you were going to talk about something else. Sorry.
No, it's hard. It's hard to sit here and listen because we have people like Dr. Keisha, Nelson, everyone else. And this man has been told that same stuff over and over again, and tomorrow he's going to act like he doesn't know any of it all over again.
Yes, and I want to point this out because I've been saying this a long time. That flat affect that you hear in his voice where it never elevates when he's trying to battle, Val or somebody, or he tries to ask the questions like a 3-year-old would, that's the danger. That's the behavioral science part of me that makes me more concerned about people who handle him, because that's the danger. Because people have misunderstood that anger, righteous anger, is healthy. It is important to have inflex in your voice. It's important to feel different emotions for a reason. It's important to express the dangers in society. When you have somebody with that affect that's flat and just sounds monotone, the real deal is what you hear when he talks to a woman. What you hear when that rage comes out where he has to interrupt. That is when the danger shows itself. Because they try to hide from society, and they think that using the N-word is what makes you a racist, not taking away food and money and retirement and education from people is not racist. And that's the macroaggressions versus microaggressions that people don't comprehend.
Yeah, I agree.
I can see
But I
that.
appreciate you letting me come up, and I'm glad everybody's here today. I know you probably got to wrap it up in a minute.
I do. The kids are hungry.
I'll try to. All right. This is called a real leader doesn't need to demand power. Power isn't something you beg for. Power isn't something you scream about. Power isn't something you threaten people into getting what you want. Real power is earned. Real leadership is followed and not forced. A true leader doesn't stomp his feet like a child, demanding loyalty, demanding submission, demanding gratitude for what should be given freely. A true leader doesn't need to say, I am strong, I am feared, I am powerful. Because you have to say it, you're already weak. Power is not a crown. It is a responsibility. A real leader inspires. A real leader earns respect, not fear. A real leader doesn't have to force people to follow. They follow because they believe. FDR didn't demand loyalty. He gave people a reason to hope. Zelensky doesn't need to boast. His people fight for him because they choose to. That is leadership. It's not about demanding gratitude. It's not about forcing people to kneel. It's not about bullying the weak and worshiping the strong. A leader lifts people up, doesn't crush them down. A leader says, I will fight beside you, not you owe me everything. A leader leads by example, not by whining about how appreciated they are. So tell me, why does Trump constantly need to remind me how powerful he is? Why does he need to demand loyalty? Why does he need to rage about Zelensky? That should kiss his feet. Because he knows he's not a leader. Because he knows real power is something he will never have.
That's
Real
true.
power doesn't need to threaten. A man who is truly strong doesn't need to say, I am strong. A man who is truly feared doesn't need to tweet, I am feared. A man who is truly respected doesn't need to cry, why doesn't anybody respect me? Right? A leader doesn't need to bully to prove his power. A leader doesn't need to tear others down to feel big. A leader doesn't need to demand thanks for doing the bare minimum. When you have to threaten people into loyalty, you are never worthy of the loyalty you begin with. When you need to convince people you're powerful, it's because they already see your weakness. And when you rage, and when you whine, when you stomp your feet because the man fighting for this country didn't bend the knee to you, you are not strong. You are not powerful. You are not a leader. You're just a coward in a suit, a loudmouth with no spine, a child playing pretend in a world that has already outgrown you. A good leader doesn't need to be an asshole. You think being an asshole makes you strong? You think bullying makes you feared? You think shouting, insulting, and tearing others down makes you a leader? No, it just makes you small. Strength is knowing when to listen. Power is earned through trust and not fear. Respect is given to those who deserve it and not those who demand it. A good leader makes people want to follow. A bad leader forces them. A good leader inspires others to act. A bad leader threatens them. A good leader serves the people. A bad leader demands to be served. Which one sounds like Trump to you? Which one would sound like Zelensky to you? Because while Trump throws tantrums about not being thanked enough, hold on a minute, I hit my button on my screen. Sorry, Deanna, I'm almost. I apologize. I had something on my stupid screen here. One sec. Okay, because while Trump throws tantrums about not being thanked enough, Zelensky is standing in the fire, fighting for his country, without ever once demanding anyone kiss his boots. That is leader. That is a power. That is why people stand with Ukraine, not with Trump. History will tell the truth. History will not remember Trump as a leader. History will not remember J.D. Vance as anything but a yes man. History will say when democracy needed defenders, when the world needed courage, when leaders were tested, Trump and Vance failed. They did not lead. They did not stand strong. They did not inspire. They cowered. They betrayed. They sided with the oppressor. And leaders do not do that. So remember, if you have to beg for respect, you never have it. So Diava, thank you. I appreciate it.
That was awesome. Thank you, Boxer Mom.
Yeah,
Thank y'all. And thanks for letting me up. And I hope everybody has a great weekend.
You too. Thank you, honey.
Yeah, real quick, Diava, before you leave, I am going to go live. So,
Okay.
anybody that wants to come over, come on over.
All right. Well, thank you guys for the likes, the loves, the taps, the gifts, everything tonight. Thank you so much. I couldn't do this every day without you, so I appreciate you so much. Have a great night. I'll be back tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern, and we'll do it all over again. Mwah! Love you. The cat just went tearing through. Sorry. Love you guys. See you tomorrow. All right, YouTube. I will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you for the thank you for being here. Thank you for the gifts. Thank you for the super stickers and stuff like that. Have a great night. I really appreciate you being here, and I'll see you guys tomorrow at 4.